Welcome back to beautiful Broward County Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, day number 2 of this historic 5-game series between USA and Cricket West Indies Under 19 Women's Series. With us, Ashmini Munisa and Gitika Kodali, the two captains of the respective teams, and our umpire. Yesterday, match number 1, the West Indies won the toss and eventually the USA won the match by 5 wickets. We're right here for the toss again, and the umpire will do the honors. Gitika, the home captain, will do the toss. Tails in the air is called. Heads is the call, so USA win the toss and will decide. Gitika? So, any special reason to bowl first today compared to yesterday?
We just like to stick to our processes. I think bowling first has been really working for us. The conditions are also a bit windy today, so we think the swing can help our bowlers achieve an even lower total for us to chase back faster.
So yesterday the West Indies conjured up 79 runs on better batting conditions. Today more bowling conditions, like you said. Expected total?
We'd say we'd be happy to get them anything under 70, but I think with our bowling attack we're really confident coming in to keep them to a low total.
Thank you, Gitika.
Thank you.
Ashmini, not so good luck today. So what's your thoughts on the conditions and what do you think about tonight?
Well, if we had won the toss, we would have also bowled first because, as you can see, there's moisture in the pitch. But like yesterday, they didn't win the toss, and they won the game. So the toss doesn't predict the outcome.
Any adjustments for sort of the outlook and the mentality in batting today compared to yesterday?
Yes, definitely. We'd just like to rotate the strike a bit more and cut down on the extras.
Thank you, Ashwini. So there you have it. USA won the toss. This time they're going to bowl first. West Indies will bat as we get ready for match number 2 in this historic 5-game series between the USA and Cricket West Indies Women's Under 19 Series. We'll be back only shortly for live match coverage. See you there. So there you have it. USA winning the toss today. Same result with the decision. They ended up putting the West Indies into bat. So same scenario. USA will bowl first. And coming from the northern end, we have Signida Paul, who opened the bowling yesterday. Did a great job after first rough couple of deliveries. Immediately settled down. And she'll be bowling to the same openers, Chanel Sau and Shalini Samaru. So my co-commentator Shibani, welcome aboard. Any thoughts on the decision to bowl first in these conditions?
Good evening, Ryan. Good evening, viewers. Looking forward to an exciting game today, the second of 5. Well, Snigdha Paul bowled really well yesterday, 3 overs, and bowled a maiden as well, just for 4 runs. Not surprising that USA decided to field first.
Paul to Sau, just turns it off her hips into the gap, an easy one and a comfortable job for Sau to get off the mark. So we see beautiful bowling conditions. It's overcast, still humid, might get the ball to move a little bit. We saw the West Indies struggle under the lights last night, only conjured up 79 runs. You think the second day they'll have any sort of adjustment and be able to get a better target?
They would have gone back and done some homework and see what mistakes they made and hopefully rectify them.
So the righty-lefty combination, here's Samaru. Samaru just pushes it to extra cover, and immediately Paul is finding that line and length.
Yesterday we also saw how well the spinners did for the USA in the middle and in the death as well, picking up 6 wickets amongst the 3 spinners. So it'll be interesting to see their approach against the USA Pacers today, knowing that this wicket is taking spin.
This was outside off stump, flashes the blade, it goes past point. Could be the first boundary of the day, and it is. The benefits of being an opener, ball coming off the bat, and Samaru gets the first boundary for the West Indies.
Great shot there by Samaru. She batted well yesterday and starting off in style, opening the face of that bat just a little to ensure the ball bisected those two fielders. Ball racing away to the boundary. Ayuni there with the chase, unable to catch up with it.
You're right on, Shabani. Samaru did stick around after Saw was unfortunately run out off of a no ball yesterday. Samaru stuck around and Joseph joined her and they put on the best partnership for the West Indies. Ball pushed into the offside, no run. We were talking about getting spin out of this wicket. The USA made an adjustment. Aditi Chudasama comes in, another off spinner to add to the squadron of spinners. So the USA doing their homework and trying to make the most of the conditions at this Broward County Stadium.
Yes, with Aditi Chudasama coming into this 11 today for USA, it strengthens, of course, their bowling with her off spin, but also strengthens their batting. Has been in good form in the middle order in the national championships. She was the best batter. She won the best batter of the tournament or the championship. So coming off of that good form and confidence.
Again, Paul, and that nagging line and length, such a great corridor bowler. But it just shows the wealth of talent that the US have to work with. By the way, after 1 over, it's none for 5. But just going back for that talent that they have, they can pick players from the bench, from the reserves, and the team just really doesn't miss a beat. And there we have Captain Fantastic herself, Kodali, coming in the latter part of the innings. The team was in disarray and scored the winning runs for the USA under-19s. So, from the commentary end, we have her bowling partner in Suhani Tadani. Was roughed up a little bit in the opening overs. Eventually had a better second spell in the latter part of the game. And she's going to come up the hill from the commentary end. Bowling to the right-handed Sao, who only faced...
Yesterday we saw USA open with Tia Gonzalez from the other end today. Suhani Tadani starts off with a brilliant delivery right outside off stump. That corridor, very consistent bowler, especially the right-handers.
You know, for a bowler who's bowling second behind the opening bowler, how much does the opening bowler affect the attitude and the confidence of the second bowler? We saw Paul come right into her first delivery and was on the mark.
It does give a lot of confidence. The start makes a difference. As you said, not just for the bowler, but for the team. If it's a good start now, 5 runs off the first over, it's an even start. It's not overwhelmingly USA or West Indies at this point. But that just gives you confidence. Whereas if you have an expensive first over, then it's almost like you're already on the back foot going into the second over. The batters are on top. Sets the tone for the innings.
Speaking about setting the tone, these two openers. And Sao cuts away. There's a third man. Throws it back into the boundary. Just one.
Nice looking shot there by Sao. Short and wide.
These two openers can be considered conservative. And after the procession of wickets that the West Indies gave up, you can understand there will be an adjustment to try and see out at least the first couple of overs.
Captain Munisar at the post-match presentation did mention a little more positivity running between the wickets, and we've seen that already. Picking the gaps. Already a boundary in the first over.
This one coming into the left-hander. You can see the adjustment already by Tadani. Right-hander, left-hander combination. Never easy for a bowler. Tadani usually just nibbles outside the right hand, the off-step of the right-hander, and immediately adjusts her line. And coming around the wicket to the left-hander, gets right back onto off-stump.
Good point there, Ryan. Bowling around the wicket this time.
Beautiful shot through the covers. Shibani, you brought up an interesting point yesterday. Batters keeping their shape. We saw Samaru, this ball pitched up, kept the shape, drive it through cover. But what happens when the loose ball comes about? You think the adjustment will happen then?
It's still very important to maintain your shape, but you can hit it with a little more power or go over the top. It's almost like it's not necessarily premeditated, but you plan. If the ball is pitched short outside off stump, I'm looking to cut hard in this region.
This one drifting into the right hand and it's through the gap in mid-wicket. Batters are going to come back for two. A thought for a third. Excellent fielding. Looks like Dhingra.
Good chase there by Disha Dhingra, keeping that to two, but very nicely played through the onside. And after 2 overs, West Indies 9 for no loss.
So, just want to recap the selection for tonight's match. West Indies have made one change. Down at the bottom corner, Rialana and Grimond comes in. And she's going to place Navina Ramnath. So, same 10, including Grimond. So, Paul continues from the northern end. Samu drives. And it gets past cover, but there's a deep cover for protection. Prasad there. And you just get that long single.
West Indies seem to have come out with good plans this evening. They've gone for those singles on offer, which are wherever the boundary riders are, sweeper cover, third man. And when that ball has been there to be hit.
Well, you and I talked about the conditions last night. Under lights, big momentous occasion, this historic series may have gotten under the skin of some of the players yesterday. Paul, again, beautiful technique by Sao. Straight bats, head down, and his shape is beautiful.
And Snigdha Paul also on the money with that one, right on the stumps. We saw a brilliant display of bowling by her yesterday, and that form continuing today.
Well, got a chance to look at the wicket just minutes ago. It has a bit of a shine on it. Beautiful batting strip. Oh, this one is in the air, but it's going to beat mid-wicket. Batters thinking of two. Eventually, the hesitation gets the better of them.
Good fielding there by Ritu Singh. You can see a bit more of an aggressive approach by these two batters today compared to yesterday. Again, possibly looking to go after the pacers before the spinners come on. That could be a strategy.
Well, just to remind our viewers, we are in the power play. 6 overs. Oh, and Samaru just sort of dabs it to cover. And like you mentioned, these batters trying to get a little bit of a move on, but the accuracy of Paul can invite the batters to make rash shots and get too adventurous on good deliveries. Paul, Samaru. This one goes to cover and the batters get that single.
Again, with the sweeper cover out, there is a big gap between point and the extra cover fielder. Samaru on multiple occasions looking to hit that gap for that single. If you keep those singles ticking over and that boundary ball comes, you could get 9 runs and over, and not just look for that boundary option every time.
You can see Samaru and Sao coming to mid-wicket and sort of cheering each other on with a fist bump. Both hailing from Trinidad and Tobago, know each other well, playing in the regional tournaments, and of course the recent tournament that was just held in Trinidad and Tobago, the same one that the USA won in the upcoming Stars. So, the end of 3 overs, it is 12 without loss.
One change for USA today. Aditi Chudasama comes in for Lisa Ramjit. But it was a solid performance yesterday, and the team is looking good, Ryan.
Well, we touched on the wealth of talent that the USA have to offer, so sometimes some players, deservedly or not, have to step out and another player gets a chance to perform. So Tadani will continue around the wicket to the left-handed Samaru. An adjustment in the field. Deep mid-wicket comes into a regular mid-wicket. There's a backward square, but the only person on the boundary is a deep cover and a third. Tadani, Samaru. Samaru dabs it in between point and third. Third comes in. Just the one. Batting is all about confidence. Second time around for Samaru, and so you can see the difference.
They seem to have made clear plans and trying to execute it, which is brilliant. And also with the right-left combination, when you keep those singles ticking over, the fielders have to change. The bowler has to adjust her line. Now, for example, Suhani Tadani bowling right arm over the wicket to the right-handed Saul, and right arm around for Samaru, the left-handed batter. So constant adjustments in lines, lengths, fields can make it more difficult for the fielding side.
Well, speaking of that, Tadani is now coming over the wicket to the right-handed Saul. 13 without loss. West Indies already doing a better job than they did yesterday. This one is pitched up towards middle stump, just clipped away.
Good work there at square leg. Went quickly to the square leg fielder, not allowing the batters to take a single. But you see already the right-hand, left-hand combination forcing lines, of course, to be changed, and on that occasion the ball on the pads of the batter.
Tadani, so eyes on edge and taking a slip. Beautiful catch in the end. It's never easy back there. Tadani gets the breakthrough. So departs for 5. West Indies lose their first wicket with 13 runs on the board.
Brilliantly bowled and well taken. That line, that length, just a short of a length delivery. Short of a length delivery, pulling the batter forward, but that ball was not quite there to be driven. And Aditi Chudasama at slip, taking a brilliant low catch. Never easy when it's at the shoelaces. Keeping her fingers under that ball. Brilliant stuff.
Well, the new batter is Janaba Joseph, who was the star of the show for the West Indies yesterday. Had 24, led the way, led the scores. She comes back in again. And we talked about the overcast conditions. It's windy. You can see the shirts in the breeze. May have helped Tadani to get some movement.
That is her corridor. That is her area. She's very strong, bowling that back of a length, outside off stump region. Can be quite unplayable when she's doing that consistently, especially when she's bowling that to a right-hander. It's not short enough to rock back and hit through the offside, not full enough to drive. A nagging line and length.
So the exciting Joseph taking on the accurate Tadani. It's beautifully bowled again, right on the money. Points there, no run. So we saw the adjustment between Shaw and Samaru. However, the bowling too good by Tadani. It's one of those where sometimes the batters make a mistake and they get themselves out. I just think it was fantastic bowling by Tadani.
Great bowling. Yes, an error by the batter, but also well caught at slip. Not easy. Those low catches.
Oh, again, just nibbling in that corridor of uncertainty.
Confidence of a wicket, Ryan. We saw yesterday Suhani Tadani was taken for runs, giving 20 runs in her 2 overs, but today asked to open the bowling alongside Snigdha Paul by captain and reaping rewards.
Shabani, you are a aggressive batter. Well, I'll ask you after this delivery. This one comes a little closer to Joseph. The adjustment is there. The technique is there. No run. How do you... So the end of 4 overs, it's 13 for 1. Tadani gets the wicket of Sau. We're talking about Tadani's line and length. How do you, as an opening batter or a batter coming in at 1 down, how do you make that adjustment to kind of throw off her line?
So she's a very smart bowler. She will read you, but it's very important to use the crease. Whether you stand outside your crease, especially with the keeper back, then that ball becomes a full delivery for you and you can go onto the front foot and try to drive that, or going deep in your crease. But that does increase the possibility of swing.
Paul, her 3rd over from the northern end. This one is wide outside our stump and it's past point. Samaru has an offer. 3rd is down there. Comfortable 2.
Brilliantly played there by Samaru. Opening the face of the bat again, ensuring to hit that gap. But good work on the boundary by Ayuni. But coming back to playing someone like Tadani or any bowler who's bowling consistently, not just using the crease in terms of depth or standing outside, but also laterally. So if you're not able to reach the ball because she's consistently bowling outside off stump, then if for example taking a leg stump guard, you can move to middle stump or even off stump. If you take an off stump guard, then you know anything to the right of your eye is outside off stump. You can throw the kitchen sink at it.
Paul to the left-handed Samaru. Back and across. The protection for Paul is a 3rd and a deep cover. The 2 players outside of the circle. And she's going to attack that off stump like it's the last thing she will do on earth.
This is good bowling here by Snigdha Paul, especially after a wicket in the previous over.
Oof, just outside off stump. And the umpire has made the decision to call the first wide. Our umpires today will be Aditya Gajar, who's up at the northern end with Paul, and then from the commentary end, the square leg umpire at the moment, Ivy Mahabir. Both umpires doing a great job last night in the opening match of the series. Again, nibbling outside off stump, well fielded.
Good movement there by Geetika Kodali at extra cover. Although that sweeper is back and there is a big gap there, covering ground quickly to ensure the batters don't take that single. Bowling is also about partnerships, Ryan. And this partnership is going well for USA.
Again, just short of a length. Samaru trying to get back on the back foot, but Paul pitching it up. It seems Samaru very strong on the offside as well. She scored a couple 2s and a boundary through that point area. But Paul looks like she's made the adjustment and pitching it up and wanting her to get on the front foot. This one's down the leg side, half-hearted appeal. You get an easy 1.
Didn't quite time that, but worked in their favor. The ball dropped. And the fielder had to run in quite a bit to get to that ball.
You know, looks like Dhingra, the ball is following her. She's been in the mix on more than one occasion already in just 4.5 overs. As Joseph takes her guard. Really an exciting player, Joseph.
And yesterday we saw Joseph and Samaru. A good partnership between the two of them.
Joseph had a couple of cover drives. It was picturesque. So the first match of the series yesterday, the West Indies only can make 79 runs. Can they surpass that total? Already 17 for 1. Joseph lets it go by. And umpire Gajar rather agrees it was a wide.
Also, you see that, of course, Janaba Joseph, we saw yesterday she played some brilliant cover drives and we have that sweeper cover already out for that boundary option.
Paul pitches up, and there's that cover drive again. This time fielded by the captain, Kodali. So that's the end of 5 overs, 18 for 1, current run rate 3.60. Everything's well for the US and the West Indies right now. Who do you think has the favorable start over 5 overs?
It's an even start, I'd say again. Now USA having picked up 1 wicket, keeping that run rate below 4, but West Indies will also be saying, we've only lost 1 wicket. We have a lot of batting to come. We can build from here.
So Kodali having confidence in her opening bowlers. Tadani's going to bowl her third. 18 for 1. Last over of the power play. We have a deep cover, more like a deep extra cover. And a third. Slip in place. Excellent catch in slip. Just 2 overs ago to dismiss Sau from the bowling of Tadani. She bowls to the left-handed Samaru. Coming back into the left-hander, no run.
Good lines and lengths here by Suhani Tadani. You can see the confidence, especially coming back from a game like yesterday for her, where she gave 20 runs in 2 overs. Not easy, but that shows the resilience of these young players on both sides.
This one is pitched up. And there was a thought of an LBW appeal. Maybe there was some bat involved. And that's why Tadani sort of threw her hands up in the air in disbelief. Beautiful delivery.
A Yorker is a great delivery at any point in a game, whether it's the death, the power play, or the middle overs. Difficult to get away. Very well executed by Tadani.
Tries the Yorker again, turns into a full toss.
Straight to the mid-off fielder, Ritu Singh.
A little bit of fire coming through that corridor.
Body behind the ball, Ryan.
Did she ask Tadani nicely, can you not bowl any more full tosses? Thank you.
She's in the line of fire. But very well fielded there.
Tadani, a Yorker, a full toss. What's next? Ooh, this one's a no ball. So attempting that Yorker again, Shabani?
Yes, seems like it. That Yorker again. Oh, going down leg. It's difficult when it's at those shoelaces. Many bowlers and coaches suggest using old shoes, place them as a target for Yorkers, and that's how you practice your Yorkers.
Well, I only have old shoes, so I can use any one of my shoes you would like. Oh, and this was outside off stump, flashed between slip down to third. And you can see Joseph with that aggressive Samaru rather, with that aggressive mindset.
Well bowled there by Tadani, mixing it up a little, especially for a free hit. Going for that, Samaru, not able to get the most of it. Going straight down to the third man fielder.
So we saw a couple of free hits yesterday where the batters completely went out of their own characters. They got themselves in trouble. This time we see Samaru sort of keeping with the shape and securing a run. This one comes into the right-hander.
And also yesterday on 3 occasions, 2 free hits and 1 no ball, we saw runouts. And but it's a learning curve, especially for young players. If that happens once to you, it'll never happen again.
Tadani pitches up, driven comfortably by Joseph, and that will be the end of the 6th over. USA 20 for 1. Joseph still on naught, and Samaru 11 off 21. So Tadani and Paul, both their 3 overs, may see their first bowling change, and it looks like it's going to be the captain herself, Gitika Kodali. She bowled from the northern end yesterday, had an excellent first couple of overs.
Just giving 6 runs off her 3 yesterday, Gitika.
So the power play is completed. Now a little more wiggle room for the captain to put players on the boundary if needed.
Just making some adjustments to the field, especially now they're allowed 4 fielders outside. But if the batters are not pushing them to, they don't need to put those fielders out. Keeping that pressure, keeping your fielders in, restricting those singles.
Gitika Kodali from the northern end to the left-handed Samaru. So a bit of an inside edge. Samaru intended that ball to go on the offside, ends up at mid-on.
Something players can learn from. Yesterday we saw Tia Gonzalez took some time to get going, and once Gitika Kodali joined her at the crease for USA, she ended up with 21 runs off 25 deliveries, getting 3 boundaries in quick succession. When the ball was on offer, she used it to get the boundaries. So a slow start can always make up for it.
This one is full outside off stump and one bounce to mid-off. He seemed to have hung up there for ages. Full delivery outside off stump. Samaru trying to get the ball past the infield. Put some extra mustard in it. So the protection for Kodali is a deep cover. And now she's moving the square leg to a deep square leg. Deep backward square leg. So protection on the square of the boundary. Square of the wicket. Kodali, Samaru. Back towards the pads. Push back to the bowler. No run.
Kodali again. Looking at that replay. He's going for it. Also the ball before that you saw, she tried to drive it. The first ball of the over, getting an inside edge. Looking to put pressure.
Oh, and she's going after this one. Beautiful shot by Samaru. May not have middled it, but got enough to get it over mid-off. Comfortable too. We saw her threatening to make that shot just 2 deliveries before, Shabani.
Yes, the intent. Intent is good here by Samaru. Started the innings with a beautiful boundary in the point region, rotating the strike, Saw and Samaru. And now with Janaba Joseph joining her. Also forcing the field change, that fielder to go on to the boundary.
Again, Samaru very comfortable, just punches it. The protection is there. We see how comfortable Samaru is scoring on the offside, whether it's through point or through the mid-off region.
Smart batting by Samaru here, going for the big shot over that mid-off fielder, pushing that fielder back, and then just taking an easy single.
Joseph equally adept at scoring on the onside, is a long on, protecting Kodali. Full toss. It's going to be a no ball, goes down to third, they get 1. And now Samaru, talking about intent, maybe licking her lips.
Yes, and since the batters have switched, they took a run, and now the field can change as well. And with it being outside the power play, the 7th over, they can have up to 4 fielders outside the ring. The no ball here again, above waist high. Janaba Joseph not able to get more bat on that.
So
Samaru.
Free hits to the informed Samaru. It's a short delivery, trying to just whip it through mid-wicket.
Hurrying Samaru there. Not able to get a good hit. And after 7 overs, West Indies are 25 for the loss of 1 wicket.
Quick reminder, Chanel Sau caught it slip by the new player added to the 11, Chudasma. off the bowling of Tadani for 5 of 10 deliveries. West Indies 25 for 1, like Shabani said. But these two had a great partnership yesterday, and looks like Janaba Joseph taking a little while to settle down. But Shalini Samaru has been the aggressor. 27 deliveries, 14 runs for the left-hander. So, Captain Kodali has decided to stay with Tadani. She's going to bowl her 4th and last over, coming from the commentary end. And if you've never been to Broward County Stadium, there's a slight incline, so she's coming up the hill. It's beautifully bowled delivery. Not much you can do with that.
Tadani already picking up 1 wicket, continuing to bowl with the slip even outside the power play. Good to be attacking when you're on top. Tadani bowling well, hitting good lines and lengths.
Tadani Joseph. Oh, again, just short of a length. Punch to cover. Kodali will have nothing of it.
Possibly going for that breakthrough. We saw that Joseph and Samaru stitched up the highest partnership for the West Indies yesterday, seeing if they can make quick work of that.
This one's a little closer to the right-hander. They're going to push it to mid-on, but just enough pace to get the single, Shabani.
Enough pace to pass the bowler, but not too much to get to the mid-on fielder quickly, allowing them to take that quick single. And they were off the mark as soon as the ball left the bat, which is very good commitment and communication by these two batters.
So we've seen steady bowling by the medium pacers, but steady batting by the West Indies to counteract that. Let's see what happens after this. After Kodali's over from the northern end. If there's a change from the commentary end and then the spin comes on, that may be the telltale sign of this innings.
Yes, from this end yesterday we saw Badri Raju bowl very well.
Oh, this one comes back into the left-hander.
Working that down to long on for that easy single. But their running between the wickets has been better today for West Indies. Looking positive, but also placing the ball in the gap and not just trying to hit.
Shabani, coming from the worst runner between the wickets in the history of cricket, I tell you, it hurts whenever you've been run out. You feel like you're not out because a bowler didn't get you out.
Yes.
So the batters have certainly made the adjustment. Oh, and it's dropped behind the stumps. Not sure if there was an edge, but Vice Captain Kolan didn't hang on. But Tadani with that nagging line and length, and Joseph, remember, just 2 runs off of 11 deliveries, maybe becoming impatient.
Slightly shorter on that occasion, and Janaba Joseph tried to make the most of it, trying to hit a big shot, not able to make contact. Nicely clipped off her pads, but that deep mid-wicket fielder ensuring only 1 is taken.
Says that replay to Danny, this time bringing the ball back into the right-hander, and that was the ball before. Dropped behind the wicket by Kolan. So the end of 8 overs, 28 for 1. Just taking a quick look at the scorecard. Janaba Joseph, a little bit of a struggle. 3 runs off 12 deliveries, while Shalini Samaru is the one carrying the anchor. 15 off of 28. 28 for 1. And there's going to be a change of bowling. Captain Kodali has taken herself off. And from the northern end, a one-person wrecking crew, Badriaju, is going to come in to bowl her off spinners.
Bowling from the other end today. It'll be interesting to see how the pitch plays on this end for her.
Saw some bounce and turn yesterday. Let's see what's in store today. Joseph on the back foot, can't beat cover.
Good looking shots from Janaba Joseph. just unable to pick the gaps consistently so far today. But looking good.
Badriaju, Joseph. This one's a full toss and it's driven, but there's protection out there. Long on comes in. Is that going to be a free hit? Is it going to be a no ball? Umpire decides against it.
It's difficult to give a no ball when the batter is stepping out or dancing down the track, Ryan. It's hard to determine whether the ball would have dipped in time or would have stayed above waist high.
So, let's see if there's an adjustment of line and length to the left-hander. Samaru, a bit of a cross bat shot, almost like a tennis shot.
Samaru was in position to pull that ball very early. Had to wait for that ball, especially since it was slightly shorter. Took some time to get to her, but maneuvering that into a gap for a single.
Full toss and it's pulled away. I think she's got all of it. There's a deep mid-wicket and it's through the wickets of mid-wicket. And Prasad with the midfield means another boundary for the West Indies.
A strong shot there by Janaba Joseph. Yes, the ball was flighted, but she used her feet to make it into a full toss. Coming out of her crease. A strong pull there. The deep mid-wicket fielder, Chetna Prasad, not able to stop that ball from going to the fence.
So after an impressive innings yesterday by Joseph, starting to get a move on now, 8 from 15. This one's tossed up outside off stump.
Not chancing Geetika Kodali's arm. She's been very good at extra cover. Tight, not letting that ball through.
And her coverage going from left to right just does an amazing job to get to the ball. Tossed up again. And that'll be the end of 9 overs, 34 for 1. Joseph 8, Samaru 16.
Sai Tanmay Ayuni coming on from the other end, the leg spinner. Was able to extract quite a bit of bounce yesterday. We also saw her bring out the googly a few times, especially to the left-hander. So we know she has that variation. And we have the left-handed Samaru on strike. Looking forward to this battle. Janaba Joseph just breaking some shackles with that boundary. Looking to attack the spinners using her feet.
So the wrist spinner from the northern end, from the southern end, and the finger spinner from the northern end. Here's Iuni. Tossed up. Beautiful flighted delivery.
Nicely driven down the ground by Samaru. To long off for an easy single. Both these batters have been quick to read the length. When it's tossed up, they've used their feet. When it's shorter, they've rocked back. Getting into good positions and playing good-looking shots as well, Ryan.
So Iuni pitched up the first one to the left-hander, coming into the right-handed Joseph, making some adjustments, asking for looks to be a second slip. This one's tossed up and it's going to be a wide delivery. And when I say a second slip, yes, it's just one slip in place, but it's in the second slip region. The protection for Iuni is a deep mid-wicket. Looks to be a deep cover. A long on. And that's the 3 players on the boundary. That is the line and length for the leg spinner. No chance for Joseph to get it away.
A very wide second slip, almost third or gully. But we've seen Ayuni bowl wider deliveries. Nicely driven down the ground by Janaba Joseph. You keep those singles ticking over and you might just get a boundary ball and make it an expensive over.
Yep, so important for the batters to use their feet against the leg spinner, especially Iyuni, who's now trying to get her line and length. You can see Joseph meeting her down the track. This one's tossed up again, gets a lot of bat. Comfortable single. The protection is there for the leg spinner, so important for the wrist spinners.
Using her feet very well there, Samaru. Getting the ball as a full toss. And when you do that, either if you get to the pitch of the ball or get it as a full toss, doesn't matter if you're playing against the turn.
And that is a lot flatter. No chance for Joseph to use her feet there. Gets back in her crease, no run. Just got a couple of glimpses at long on. Ritu Singh, the player of the match yesterday. 3 wickets for 8 runs. Down the track comes Joseph. Beats the fielder, get one.
Good bowling here by Sai Tanmay Ayuni. Just 5 runs off it. 10 overs gone, 39 for 1.
So our first break of the game, 39 for 1. Joseph 10, Samaru 18. Despite the overcast conditions, it is humid. With my co-commentator Shabani Basker, my name is Ryan Davis, and it is an absolute honor to bring this historic 5-game series between the USA Women's Under-19 against Cricket West Indies Women's Under-19. Just a quick recap. Yesterday the West Indies were put into bat, scored 79 runs. Sorry, the West Indies won the toss, decided to bat first. 79 runs. Eventually the USA knocked it off with 5 wickets to spare. Was dramatic. Captain Fantastic herself, Gitika Kodali, coming in to score the winning runs. So far today, the USA won the toss, putting the West Indies into bat. After 10 overs, some very tight and accurate bowling. The West Indies openers responded between Sao and Samaru, and now the partnership between Joseph and Samaru to get the score for 39 to 1.
Lisa Ramjit, 12th man today, has come onto the field for Chetna Prasad, who's gone off. And Bhumika Badriraju continuing.
We saw Prasad with the misfield, maybe an injury at the boundary. Checking her run is Badriadru. Oh, what a stumping! Beautifully bowled by the off spinner. Drew Joseph into the shot, and Kolan did the rest. So the second wicket falls for the West Indies, 39 for 2. But again, magic by Badriadru.
It happens often after a drinks break. Very well bowled by Badriraju, drawing the batter out. Enough turn and a good set of hands from Kolan behind the stumps to complete that stumping. After a drinks break, losing a wicket.
I tell you what, there's nothing like a stumping that's so definitive. Of course, a bowl down is even more definitive, but a stumping just brings the entire field together. The bowler, the wicketkeeper in unison. So the new batter is James. Had a fantastic performance in the field and bowling yesterday. Now has a chance to perform with the bat. Only made 3 runs yesterday. So not only a left-handed bowler, but a left-handed batter.
Now we have 2 left-handers at the crease. Saida James joining Samaru.
So Badriaju drifting the ball outside to the right-hander, bowling to the left-hander now. Does she come into the pads of the left-hander?
It'll be interesting to see what she does. She likes to pitch it on or about off stump and take it away. Again, looking for that stumping opportunity, drawing that batter out, the ball turning away from the left-hander. The off-spinner always has that stumping playing on their mind when bowling to a lefty.
Badriaju, it's full and James drives.
Brilliant diving stop there by Geetika Kodali.
We have talked over and over again of her importance at that short extra cover or cover region. Such brilliant coverage. Going from left to right, gets a piece of it, takes his sting off the ball. There's Captain Fantastic. Badriaju to the informed Samaru. Ooh. Kolan can't get a hold of it. No run, but it's going to be a wide delivery.
Also so important, that extra cover fielder, because that fielder is right in the batter's face. The way they move, getting the ball back in quickly.
Badriaju has this ability to toss the ball up in the air, but the dip is so profound. Every time you think it's going to come onto the bat, it drops right in front of you.
The revolutions on the ball, giving it a real tweak.
Again, tossed up, gets to the pitch of the ball is Samaru. Driven with pace. Good sign for the batter. So a wicket, a run, a wide and 2 dot balls. Badriaju getting on top of the batters here. Down the wicket she comes. Samaru goes over the top. Long on is there, long off is there. One bounce, well fielded. They're going to hurry back for a second. And James gets back, no problem. Second time in this innings, we've seen Samaru open up a little bit.
Great shot there, using her feet, going straight down the ground. No fielder there. Yes, there was long off and long on, but she hit that straight as an arrow. No opportunity for those fielders to come and catch it. But very good work on the boundary there by Snigdha Paul to keep that down to 2. Looked like a certain boundary off the bat.
So Samaru goes to 20, 43 for 2. This one's a flatter delivery on the back foot. Beats Kolari at cover.
Geetika Kodali, tall, outstretched hands, not able to get to that one, well placed. And after 11 overs, West Indies have lost 2 wickets, 44 runs on the board.
You know, we saw the shorter wide deliveries get wickets yesterday. First time we've seen that today. Short, wide delivery. Looks like Samaru almost hit the ball straight into Kodali's hands. Could have been another unforced error, as they would say.
It's difficult to control when the ball is so far away from you, whether you're playing off the back foot or the front foot. When the ball is away from you, your head is not close to the ball, and that means less control.
Just in case you are wondering, yes, there is fan support. Shabani, I've seen you dance before. You could dance a lot better than those guys.
It's enjoyment that's important, Ryan. Ritu Singh comes into the attack.
The dangerous Ritu Singh,
Yes.
player of the match yesterday.
Picking up 3 wickets.
Ritu Singh, Samaru on the back foot, pulls it. And it beats that short mid wicket and gets a boundary. Samaru rocking back on the back foot. She moves on to 25.
Great.
Can't afford to bowl loose deliveries to Samaru now, who has her eye in. She's got stuck in.
She's been here since ball 1, rocking back, ensuring to hit that wider of the long on fielder. A brilliant placement. We saw Ritu Singh pick up a wicket off her first ball yesterday. Today giving a boundary How does she follow that up?
Tosses it up, but again, the dip is there.
We talked about this yesterday, Ryan. Ritu Singh being very deceptive. Yes, she's an off spinner, but has the run up of a pacer. So even if you know that she is a spinner and she is going to look to flight the ball and turn the ball, when you see a bowler running in like a pacer, you're still expecting that ball to come at speed.
Samaru down the track, gets it on the full. Long on is there to protect.
But a good start to the over for West Indies here. Samaru getting a boundary off the first ball. Puts the bowler on the back foot.
I think it just shows again Samaru's ability to anchor the innings like she did yesterday, not allowing Ritu Singh to settle. Had that loosener, first delivery, get a boundary, put Ritu Singh on the back foot as she comes forward off of her long run. She's going to bowl to the left-handed James. The cover for Ritu Singh will be a deep cover, a long off, deep mid-wicket, and a long on. So 4 players on the boundary, allowing Singh to have a margin of error to the batters until she settles down. Again, just whipped off the pads and on drive. The short mid-wicket is there, just to shadow the deep mid-wicket. It's Gonzalez.
All the boundary riders in front of square for Ritu Singh, indicating that she's looking to bowl fuller.
This one is flatter, and on the back foot goes James.
Saida James not interested in that single. Samaru looking for it. We saw when Samaru and Saw were batting together, ran some quick singles. But wickets does that to you, Ryan.
Puts the element of doubt. Singh. James. James seems completely undecided to go back foot or front foot, and that takes us to the end of 12 overs. 49 for 2, 5 off of it. Ritu Singh having a little harder of a time to settle in than she did yesterday.
Yes, the boundary off the first ball, but bowled a brilliant 5 balls after that, Ritu Singh. That last delivery to Zaida James. James seemed to get too close to that ball when the ball is short. And if you have a bit of width, you want to get close to it, but if you get too close to it, you cannot impart a lot of power. If you have a bit of width, it allows you to free your arms.
Complete change of subject here, but I just looked down, I just realized my lanyard is still on. And just for you guys who don't know, we're not on camera, so me having my lanyard on makes no sense, but it's just to remind myself of my own name every so often. It's a valuable tool to have. So the off spinner, Badriaju. Samaru, short, cut away. Deep cover is there, just the one.
If these two can again keep rotating the strike, that boundary ball will come, as we saw. Samaru getting into it, 27. Saida James now.
Badriaju having cover with a long on, long off, and a deep cover. This one's pitched up, driven down the ground by James.
Ricochets off Badri Raju for a single. 2 singles so far in this over. Can it be a big over for the West Indies?
So the 50 was brought up, the delivery before. Now it's 51 for 2. Samaru meets it, but hits the underneath of the bat, no run. So it just shows Badriaju's ability again to flight the ball, almost pull it back a little bit. So even though Samaru has seen 40 deliveries, still sometimes can't get to the pitch of the ball. Driven down the ground, maybe a chance for a cotton ball. So we've been visited by the person in charge, Nadia Grooney. Without her, none of this is possible. This historic moment. And even though she's running away, we will get her on the mic, and that's a promise. James faces Badriaju. This one's shorter and cut away.
Nicely played there by Zaida James. Stepped into it and moved away just a bit to make room to cut that through the cover region.
So we're seeing a change, not only at the crease, ability-wise, making shots-wise, but we've seen an adjustment, mentally speaking, by the West Indies batters. Down the wicket she comes, driven, long off is there. Just the one. And that is the end of the 13th over, 54 for 2. Samaru 29, James 3.
Just looking at the scorecard, West Indies put into bat by USA after losing the toss. Samaru still there on 29. Chanel Saw went early. A brilliant catch at slip by Aditi Chudasama. Very tight bowling by Tadani. And recently Janaba Joseph getting out right after the drinks break to a brilliant ball by Badri Raju.
So the play of the match will continue from the commentary end. Ritu Singh to Samaru. It's pitched up. Samaru meets her down the track. Gets one. Using her feet so well is Samaru.
Chetna Prasad back on the field. Lisa Ramjit goes out. But coming back to your point of the ball dipping, Ryan.
Oh, beautifully bowled.
Brilliantly
by Ritu
bowled,
Singh.
yes. Colin quick there to get to the ball as well. But the ball dipping creates so many challenges for a batter. You see a ball coming at you, but due to the revolutions on the ball dips sooner than you expect it to. This happens more often with wrist spinners because they're able to impart more spin.
Oh, almost the inside edge. For a second, Ritu Singh thought she may have had a wicket.
Tight bowling here, lines and lengths. Less turn than we saw yesterday, but
Correct.
still plenty of turn on offer.
This one's tossed up. James is down the track.
Not able to get that through. Good fielding there by Tia Gonzalez at mid-wicket.
Tia Gonzalez always partnered her captain, Kodali, for the winning runs yesterday.
And they're partnering in the field, extra cover and mid-wicket as well.
This one's a flatter delivery on the back foot and a wide call by umpire Mahabir. 2 deliveries left in this over. So far it's been a tight one. Just the single and now the wide. Did you bowl with a hat on, Shabani?
Yes, I generally do.
See, I never did.
Either a hat or a clip or a bandana.
Maybe I should have done that because I was such an awful bowler. This one's tossed up and whipped off the pads. Excellent diving stop by Gonzalez. Just want to bring it up to our viewers. When you work with royalty, like Shabani Bhaskar, you get fruits brought to you by the board.
That's for you, Ryan.
And now we have a bowl of fruits. We have grapes, a watermelon, apples, pineapple, and I believe cantaloupe. So which one do we go with first, Shabani? Since they were bought for you, and I'm just hanging on here. This one's on the back foot. It's in the air, but it's going to drop safe between cover and deep extra cover.
3 fielders coming for that one. But good placement. The extra cover and mid-wicket fielder is usually tight and closer, and that one going over extra cover.
Almost good placement as the fruits. The grapes are placed on top of the apples, next to the cantaloupe and the pineapple. But we'll take a look at the replay. A shortish delivery outside of some, flashes the blade, hits the middle, just on the outside part of the middle, enough to get past the infield. in the end, it turned out to be a good shot. So the end of 14 overs, 58 for 2. As the players get some drinks, I'm going to attack the fruits. And Shabani, you can talk away as much as you want.
As there are gaps to the right and left of fielders, there's a huge gap above the fielder as well, and that is what West Indies targeted on that previous ball. Especially when extra cover and mid-wicket are so close, usually 10-15 yards inside the inner circle, presents that opportunity to go over that fielder.
Change of bowling. Captain Fantastic brings herself on. Gotika Kodali is coming back on from the northern end, coming down the hill, as we say, in Broward County Stadium, an international stadium. I'll remind everyone, West Indies India played just this weekend, right on this strip. Kodali, Samaru getting that extra bounce, the medium pace up. And I don't think Samaru was ready for it. Rather, it is Samaru.
Trying to take her on, putting pressure on Geetika Kodali, unable to make the most of that delivery, losing her shape a bit, not getting a good solid shot, and the ball.
Kodali short of a length, but beautifully driven off the back foot. The sort of shot you see over and over on the highlight reel. Didn't get a boundary, but it shows what Samaru can do. 32 of 45.
You see that she's looking to attack Geetika Kodali. Even when she came on for her first over, the 7th over it was, just after the power play, the batters were looking to attack her. Also, pace on the ball sometimes can be easier to hit, especially on a turning track. Zaida James now.
James on the back foot, and it goes through Kolan. And they hurry through for a bye. Interesting to see if the umpire will call a wide. No, just the bye. The score creeps forward. Remember, USA winning the toss, putting the West Indies to bat. They have their formula. USA very comfortable bowling first and then chasing after. Kodali, Samaru, great matchup. Down the leg side, flicked off the pads. Get that one. James is quick.
Well covered on the offside there as well. The throw coming in quickly from the square leg fielder, but the offside fielder is in position to cover that throw. The fielding has been good here by USA today. We saw yesterday as well, both sides fielding very well. The commitment in the field, making those diving efforts, stopping the ball. Great display of fielding.
Kodali, pitched up, driven beautifully by James. Going towards the boundary, well fielded. Come back for 2. Beautifully played by James, a square drive. And Tadani, the opening bowler, who's bowled all of her 4 overs, has to come all the way across from that sweeper cover region to backward point. But more importantly, Shabani has went for the apple. We were all concerned which one she's going to go with, getting text messages and tweets. And yes, just to confirm, she went with the apple, everyone.
Oh, Ryan.
Kodali, James, and again playing through the line of the ball. Long off has to come across. No, it's deep cover. Tadani again, getting a workout.
If we look at that again, the batter walked down the track a few steps, going for that attacking option after 15 overs. West Indies 64 for 2.
Samaru, 32 of 47. James, 7 of 13. James sweeps. An appeal for a stump. West Indies, the umpire is unmoved, and that means umpire Mahabir signals a wide.
James came back in one motion. She tried to come down the track and hit it out of the park. Missed it. Ball going down leg. But as she was hitting and she realized she missed it, she just went back into the crease with that swing. Good awareness by James.
Singh, James. Beautifully bowled by Singh. It was almost the arm ball. James playing for that turn. Gets the inside edge.
Mixing it up here, Ritu Singh. She's good with her pace variations, able to bowl quicker ones and flighted deliveries. And on this occasion, a straighter one too.
This one is tossed up towards Midland leg, whipped off the pads.
Deep mid-wicket comes in quickly. And West Indies batters taking a single there.
This time Singh coming on the inside. Talk about that arm ball, the ability for the ball not to turn, just to continue on. Tossed up, down the track she comes. Tadani's out there. She's going to need a water break just on her own after chasing so many deliveries.
Again, bowling to her field. You have the deep fielders, 4 fielders outside. Keeping it nice and full, even if it's a full toss, you have the coverage for that.
Singh, James drives an inside edge. No run. So far in this over, a wide delivery. Dot, 2 singles and a dot. As the battle continues between Ritu Singh and the West Indies. Beautifully bowled, adjusting that flight, Shabani.
Was a nice looking shot, but went straight to point. Went quickly as well. Play that with soft hands and you get a single. Point is right on the circle, walking in from outside the circle.
Last ball of the 16th. And it's over the top. Again it lands in between cover and extra cover. Sorry, that deep cover. They get that one, but it shows the intent now of James and Samaru to take the good balls and still score off of it.
You have 4 overs to go, 16 overs up, 68 for 2. You're coming into the back end of the innings. They've only lost 2 wickets. They can go for it, Ryan, and that's what they're looking to do. You can see the intent.
So James, 9 of 18, and this was her last shot. Look at the footwork. Just whipping through the line of the ball with the wrists. And it turned out to be a measured shot by James, who's now full of confidence, and is the last thing Captain Kodali will want to see. So, change of bowling from the northern end. We're going to have Tia Gonzalez, who opened the bowling yesterday with her wrist spin, off spin. Sorry, finger spinner, that's right. Only bowled the 1 over to open the bowling yesterday. She's going to come on now in the latter part, the death overs, as we like to say in T20 cricket. 24 deliveries remaining. The West Indies only scored 79 yesterday, Shabani, 68 for 2.
Can they get another 24 runs? We have 24 balls left in this innings, 24 to 30, maybe even 40 runs. That'll take them past 100. And that is a good total, a fighting total. They will back themselves to defend that, especially this track taking spin. And West Indies have quite a few spinners in their ranks.
Just to bring everyone up to speed on our assortment of fruit, Shabani went for the apple. I went pineapple, then apple. And I have to say I like the pineapple better than the apple.
Well, you know, when you're being entertained, when you're watching a movie, you have popcorn. But this is sport, so we're going healthy with fruit. Plenty of entertainment. We're watching it. And instead of popcorn, since it's not available, we're going with fruit, Ryan.
She is the best analyst in the game. She can break down fruit, she can break down cricket. Next thing we're going to talk about is lottery numbers. Hopefully Shabani can give us the winning numbers for the next lottery. Everyone stay tuned. That's coming up after the break. So, 24 deliveries remaining. West Indies U19 women's taking on USA U19 women's in this historic 5-game series. USA winning the first match by 5 wickets yesterday. We're into the second. Gonzalez, James. Oh, beautifully struck. But the protection is there. Probably the best hit shot so far this innings. Coming from the bat of James.
Strong shot there, full toss. But well positioned there, the fielder on the boundary. Between a deep mid-wicket and deep square leg. Had she been at deep mid-wicket, that would have been a certain boundary.
Down the track comes Samaru, gets to the pitch of the ball. Long off is chasing. Looks to be Ritu Singh. Well fielded, but Samaru now getting to the pitch of the ball, having the confidence to go after players, Shabani.
She's using her feet well. We saw that when the spinners came on, she started using her feet immediately, and with Tia Gonzalez going away from her and Samaru strong on the offside, she's hitting it with the turn. Tia Gonzalez pulling up.
Through mid-off. Down the track, gets to the pitch again. This time, Gonzalez takes his sting off the ball. Chudasma retrieves. So the last delivery we saw to James, it was a full delivery. She hits it on the full. She herself has started to grow in confidence, started to take good balls, turn them into bad deliveries. Down the track she comes again, doesn't get all of it. Another single, the scoreboard ticking.
Well, James, plenty of potential. She was a traveling reserve for the West Indies senior team. She was on the West Indies A team as well. Plenty of experience.
Definitely flatter delivery. Switching things up on Samaru. Samaru has come down the track on the last few occasions to Gonzalez. Great adjustment by the off spinner.
Yes, every time the bowler has flighted the delivery, she has come down the track. Nicely dropped. Playing with such soft hands. The mid-wicket is inside, but played it so soft that it was quite an easy single. And at the end of 17, the West Indies are 74 for 2.
After 17 overs, the score is 74 for 2. 3 more overs remaining. Let's see if West Indies will make it 100. Last 20 minutes, 79 USA in the runs. About 15 overs. So let's see if West Indies is going to make 100 and defend their total.
So quick look at the scoreboard while the batters adjust gloves and get some refreshments. So the opening batter caught at slip by the new addition to the squad, Chudasma, off the bowler of Tadani, who's bowled her full 4 overs, out for 5, 10 deliveries. But since then, Janaba Joseph and Zaida pineapple chant that you heard online today?
Oh no, it's this was circulating maybe a year or two ago. I think it was a lockdown thing, with COVID. People were trying to entertain themselves, and it was a pineapple apple pen kind of song. But I'm sure the younger generation will know what I'm talking about.
We love the description, but we actually want to hear the tune. What does it sound like? Maybe you could hum it if you can't remember the words.
No, if I do that, we'll lose some viewers here, Ryan. People will be like, no, stop singing.
Actually, I'm checking the YouTube count and it's multiplying by the second, so I think you're tuning in, Chibani, to hear the song, but we will revisit that.
Samaru getting looked at by the physio. Yes, I'm changing the subject here.
Expertly done.
Again, we saw the physio come out an over or two ago looking at her, looks like her ankle.
So Samaru has every right to get whatever help she can with her pads, with her gloves, with her bat, because she has anchored this inning and has led the West Indies and put them in a very competitive total. With 3 overs to go, 18 deliveries left.
Their field set, as we've seen the past few overs. Samaru aggressive, James also getting in to the act. Last 3 overs looking to get as many runs as possible, only 2 wickets down. With batting to come.
So, the off spinner Badriaju coming from the commentary end has protection, sweeper at the cover region, a long off, a long on, and a deep mid wicket. A short delivery and it's driven away off the back foot. Protection in the V.
The difference between the pace of different spinners. Now we saw Ayuni, Tia Gonzalez, Badri Raju, Ritu Singh all bowling at different speeds. Badri Raju being one of the slower spinners. Samaru had to wait on that one.
Badriaju, James, cut away. Points there. So we're now down to 16 deliveries left. Pressure on the fielding side or batting side?
Fielding side.
Oh, gone after this. It's high in the air. Going to drop just in front of Paul. And they scamper back for 2. So, James opening up her shoulders, lofting this one. Felt in front of Paul. And an easy 2 for the West Indies. Score goes to 77 for 2. James 13. Started to move things along. Badriaju. And that's the line. Just outside off stump. Have James try to score on the offside.
That aggressive shot again coming down the track, going wider of long on. Dropping well short. Taking on the arm for 2.
Oh, is there another stumping? There's an appeal. And she's out. Brilliant stuff by Kolan behind the stumps. Badriaju just tossing this one outside off stump. And James becoming a little too overzealous to try and score.
The difference there, Ryan, Badri Raju bowling that wider outside off stump as you just mentioned. Pulling the batter out with her flight, but keeping it wide. And Kolan, not easy when the ball is close to the wide line. Doing that very quickly to dismiss James, who was looking dangerous.
So the West Indies lose their 3rd wicket with 77 on the board. 1 delivery left in this over. And the big hitting calendar comes in. Certainly with the instructions of anything over pitched, anything in the V, to put some mustard behind it.
Also with that dismissal, it brings a right-hander to the crease. We have Samaru, the lefty, who's been there since the beginning of the innings. But with Calendar coming in, you have a right-hander, right-left combination, changes in the field if they're taking a lot of singles, changes the bowlers have to make in line and length.
So the protection for Badriaju, she has a deep mid wicket, a long on the onside, a deep cover and a long off. This one short, whipped off the pads. Not much bounce, Shabani.
We've seen that variable bounce, and at the end of 18 overs, 77 for 3. To bowl an 18th over, getting a wicket and only conceding 3 runs. A brilliant over there by Badri Raju.
So, Samaru anchoring the innings, 38 or 53 after a courageous performance yesterday as well, doing her very best to support Joseph. Now she's leading the charge for this West Indies team.
Can she give her team a big finish now? Just 2 overs left, 12 balls. Can she maybe get 20 runs with Calendar?
As Iyuni, the leg spinner, coming in. It's a wide delivery. They think about 2, just the 1.
Walking across, getting very, very close to the ball. You see, she walked across front leg and back leg, which isn't seen very often, but that ball was quite wide. And ensuring she was close enough so she could get a good shot on it.
So a bit of a loosener for Iyuni. What would she do with Calendar? She finds a mark. Calendar pulls it away. And it goes down to the boundary. Calendar, the big hitting right-hander. Anything fractionally short, she's going to open up those shoulders.
Brilliant shot there. Ball short on the stumps, almost leg stump. Calendar goes onto the back foot, punishes that ball to the square leg boundary. No deep fielder there.
This time the sweet shot by Calendar. Beats backwards square. They come back for 2. Well, Iyuni, a loosener, then put away to the boundary, then the sweep shot for 2. 7 runs off 3 deliveries.
Good aggressive batting here by West Indies. Samaru with the single, and then Calendar boundary and a 2 short ball pulled. Fuller ball swept. What's next?
Tossed up, again the sweep shot, and I believe she got enough bat on it. And it's gone for 4. Not the most traditional of shots, but enough for Calendar to get a boundary. Went for the sweep shot, got an edge, past Colon, and the second boundary, carrying it to 10, 11 runs so far in the first 4 deliveries.
When you're brave and you're going for it, luck goes your way as well. Off the back of the bat, they're looking to sweep that to the square leg, fine leg region, taking the bat of the back of the bat, and the ball going into the 3rd man boundary.
She's back, and not a convincing shot, was in 2 minds. And Shabani, is this the point where Tadani bowling all of her 4 overs? Now you have the leg spinner bowling in the death overs. Is it coming back to bite Kodali for that decision?
It was a good decision to bowl Tadani out. She was bowling really well, putting pressure on them. They weren't getting a lot of runs off of her.
This one's driven to long on. And Calendar has come in for 6 deliveries and has scored 11 runs. Gets a run in the last ball of the 19th and will face the first ball of the 20th. 89 for 3, 6 deliveries remaining.
2 4s in that over. You were talking about just looking at the replay of the first boundary. Rocking back nicely. No deep square leg fielder. Too much for the deep mid-wicket fielder to do. And this off the back of the bat. But when you're being brave and you're being aggressive, luck can go your way.
So, the person responsible for the last 6 deliveries was the player of the match, Ritu Singh. Off spin coming from the commentary end. Bowling to Calendar, who's in the mood. West Indies 89 for 3, only scored 79 yesterday. 6 deliveries remaining. Oh, and a late cut by Calendar. Beautifully played. The fly slip gives chase. The uni whips it back in and they come back for 2.
Very smartly played by Calendar. She's only faced 6 deliveries, already scoring 11 runs. We've seen that she has power, but also the deft touch. Now 7 deliveries and 13 runs. The deft touch, especially when you have power, all your fielders will be almost in front of square where you can hit strong shots, and that opens up so many possibilities behind square on the leg side and the offside.
Samaru leading the way, Calendar following, and it's going to be a wide delivery as Ritu Singh trying to hide this delivery. And it's going to be a no ball. Looks like Ritu Singh may have gone too wide of the crease.
If
Shivani.
we look at that delivery again, there is a new rule that if the ball pitches off the pitch, it is a no ball and not a wide.
Ritu Singh. Calendar. Bit of a cross-bat shot, but she's got a lot of it. Well, have to believe if Calendar ran that first one hard, they may have gotten 2 there.
Looking at the no ball, it's tough to say. That was quite wide, and that could be the reason it was a no ball.
Well, thank God that rule was not wrong in my day. I would have bowled no balls on the regular. So, after the free hit, there comes Singh. Down the wickets comes Samaru. Being aggressive. Deep mid wicket is there. Just the one.
Not timing that well enough to go to the boundary, but picks up a single and brings Calendar back on strike. She's hitting it well. The free hit delivery, it was quite wide and she went straight down the ground, flat batted, and wasn't able to get as much power as she would have liked.
Ritu Singh, Calendar, again. This time the sweep shot beats backward square. Mid wicket comes across, deep mid wicket. They're going to test the arm and a comfortable 2.
Good running between the wickets there. As you said, Ryan, previously on that free hit, they didn't run that first one hard. On this occasion, Calendar wanting to come back for that second run. 2 balls left. She wants to take it.
Calendar, 16. Again the sweep shot. A lot of power. Mid wicket comes across. Will she get there? No, she won't. 4 more for Calendar. West Indies bring up their 100, and that is a significant total on this ground.
Bringing it to 3 figures. Makes it a big target. Calendar timing that to perfection, waiting on it, allowing the ball to get nice and close to her so that she could hit it as hard as possible, and placing it as well, forcing that square leg fielder to go back onto the boundary.
The Tassa drums are playing and Calendar is batting. Last ball of the over of the innings. Beautifully bowled by Ritu Singh. Is there a run out? And it is. Calendar run out on the last delivery of the innings, and the West Indies finish with 100 for 3. Calendar, despite being run out, the hero at 20 off 11, and also Samaru 40 off 55, the anchor of the innings.
Samaru batting through the innings, carrying the bat for her team, scoring a 40 to follow up that 16 she scored yesterday, and a good partnership with Janaba yesterday. But Calendar stealing the show in these last 2 overs, coming into bat, facing 12 balls, smashing 20 runs.
So the West Indies come up with triple figures, 100 for 4 after their 20 overs. The USA women's under 19 coming back into the dressing room. They'll get strike, and try to go after these triple digits to see if they can win their second game on the trot. We'll be back with you shortly in only a few minutes. the mark. This one not outside off stump, coming closer towards middle and leg. And Prasad so strong on her legs.
Moving well to get well inside the line of that ball and accessing that leg side, getting it past the inner circle.
So Prasad scored a boundary with a similar shot off of her legs. And Mitchell tries again. Outside off stump and it's flashed away with points there. No run. Both teams did a great job in the field yesterday with run-outs, catches, you name it. They backed up their bowlers this time. And we saw the USA struggle to get over the mark of scoring the runs. This time, the West Indies scoring 100 runs. The target is 101 to win. So it's going to be a tall order for United States, who won the first game yesterday by 5 wickets. Outside off stump, and it's going to be another wide call by umpire Aditya Gajar. So Mitchell having a hard time yesterday, and Wilmot finding their line and length. Certainly set the West Indies back in their quest to stop the USA.
They pulled it back nicely in the middle overs, 8 through 11. But not enough runs on the board yesterday. Today, with 100 on the board, triple digits, scoreboard pressure.
Mitchell, Prasad, much better bowled by the medium pacer. Great technique by Prasad as well.
Chetna Prasad gets into good positions. Very stylish and aggressive batter. Disha Dhingra as well, her opening partner today. Very strong through the offside. Likes to go over extra cover as well.
Dhingra has been brilliant in the field in both games. Again, Mitchell teasing line and length. Best ball she's bowled so far for the over. So because of the 2 wides, we still have 1 delivery remaining. 4 runs so far. Extras to Prasad 2.
We've seen that Mitchell can move the ball away from the right-hander. On this occasion, the ball holding its line, almost moving in a bit, keeping the batter guessing.
Mitchell, beautifully bowled again. Good line, good length. And Prasad respecting the delivery. And that's the end of the first over. So the United States chasing 101 for victory. They are 4 without loss after 1. Ashwini Munisa, captain for the West Indies U19 team from Guyana. And she has decided...
Shalini Samaru.
Shalini Samaru, who just batted throughout the innings yesterday. She came on as a bowler and bowled very tightly, bowling off spin. And she has been given the task of opening the bowling. So opening the batting and opening the bowling. She is quite the cricketer.
She does open the bowling for Trinidad and Tobago, the team she captains.
So Samaru protection on the onside, a deep backward square and a deep mid wicket. Only 2 players on the boundary. Samaru. Oh, and it's almost like an arm ball. Dare I say even a Dusra?
An arm ball sounds right, Ryan. Dusra is hard to bowl. Need to be extremely flexible with your arms for that.
Samaru, I'm trying.
Difficult to bowl a Dusra without bending your elbow.
Beautifully flighted delivery by Samaru. She has hit her mark from ball 2.
We also saw yesterday that Samaru is able to effectively change up the pace.
Speaking about changing up the pace, that was flatter. Guess Dhingra didn't get a chance to bat yesterday. Actually, she did. Didn't get too much time at the crease. And she's going to try to get herself set in. And this one is on off stump. A little bit of turn. And so far, 3 dot balls, just what the doctor ordered for Munisa and this West Indies team.
Dhingra stitched up a bit of a partnership with Anika Colin.
So outside off stump and a wide delivery call by umpire Ivy Mahabir. And she reminds everyone 2 deliveries remaining in this over.
She pushed the ball yesterday to mid-off and took off for a single, but the fielder did very well to get her run out yesterday.
Brilliant delivery and well played off the legs by Dhingra. Gets 2. Well bowled, well played, and that's just hit the fielder. Went right past the wicketkeeper. Hit the fielder right on the shin. And I can tell you from experience, she's going to feel that tomorrow.
It hurts more a few days later, and she'll see the bruise as well.
That's right.
Physio. Ice, please.
No one said it was an easy game.
Not at all. The ball is hard, and if it hits you, it hurts. Hands, fingers can get fractured as well.
Yeah, we were looking at these scars in your webbing from an injury you got in Australia. We'll get back to that. Samru to Prasad. Samru just punches it to point, no run, and that's the end of a very successful second over. USA 6 without loss after 2. Going back to your webbing, you got an injury. What part of Australia? Well, this is the talking about injuries. Look at James just unleashing that ball and hitting the hero calendar right on the left knee.
That can be nasty, especially on the front of your, the bottom part of your leg. From the knee down, it is all bone. There is no muscle to cushion that blow. And it really, really hurts.
So Dhingra asking for a middle guard, middle stump, otherwise known as a 3. Steps in, facing Mitchell, bowling her second over, 4 runs off of her first. Again, teasing line and length, just on middle and off. Run rate required 5.33. Run rate right now 2.77. Still early days, a lot of cricket to be played.
But you see that in the first over, USA got 4. In the second over, they got 2 runs, and that has already pushed the run rate up just a little bit.
And this one's a little bit shorter. Squirted away to point, and that's James. Possibly the last person you want to attempt to steal a run off of. Just a juggernaut at point or square leg.
Also, James being a left-handed fielder and thrower, the ball comes in a bit quicker just because of that angle.
Dhingra facing Mitchell, comes right back into the right-hander. And we saw yesterday, maybe not so much tonight, not as humid as last night. The ball hit the grass, a little bit dewy. The ball got wet, slick. Ball went flying between Wilmot and Mitchell. Tonight there's been an adjustment.
They've adapted very well tonight, executing plans.
This one's pushed beautifully to cover.
It's that cordon again. Difficult to penetrate that cordon, but if it makes it past those 4 fielders, it is a boundary. The outfield is quick, but because those 4 fielders are so tight, it's difficult to get a single in that region. And Mitchell bowling to her field very.
This one's down the leg side. Mitchell was flirting with a maiden, and now it's a wide delivery. Aditya Gajar signals to the square leg umpire, 2 deliveries left, and sort of eases the pressure just a little bit off the United States.
Commentators curse Ryan. Just as I was saying, she's bowling to her field, bowling tight lines at the stumps, just outside off stump. The ball drifts down leg side for a wide.
You won't be the last, believe me. Mitchell, Dhingra, again down the leg side. And again the wide is signalled. So the 2 runs that have been accumulated in this over have come from wides from Mitchell. 8 without loss. And gives Dingra just a window of confidence. And let's see if she can capitalize on the last 2 deliveries. I think Mitchell may have asked the umpire to help dry the ball. We talked about it being slippery once it hits that grass. This time she finds the off stump, no wide called. And looks like, Shabani, we're actually going to finish this over.
Well, the legal deliveries that the West Indies have bowled so far in this innings, just 1 ball to go to finish the 3rd, have been very good. Difficult to get away, but they have bowled a couple of wides, 2 already in this over, 1 in the previous, and a couple in the first over. If you take away those wides, there haven't been a lot of runs off the bat for USA in these first 3 overs so far.
Similar to last night. Mitchell. Beautifully bowled by Mitchell. Late movement. And that'll be the end of a somewhat successful 2nd over by Mitchell. 3rd for the West Indies. 8 without loss.
The decision you make today may help shape someone else's future tomorrow. Let's talk about how we can help you put together a strategy. Life insurance is in our DNA. We've been cracking the code for 175 years. With New York Life by your side, you can focus on the things that matter most. You've got dreams and responsibilities. We're here for both. New York Life. Be good at life.
Samaru continuing. Just gave 2 runs in her first over.
This one's flighted outside off stump. Cannot be handled by Sao. Give up a bye. Looking for 2. Prasad doesn't want it. So that was it really was the Achilles heel for the West Indies last night. The extras were off the charts in the opening 5 overs. It set the stage for an already small total that they scored. It really propelled the USA team to then cushion themselves and knock off the runs at the end. If there's one thing they have to adjust in the field, the West Indies have to bring down the extras. Samaru, and cut away beautifully. But guess who's there? James. Dot ball, what could have been a boundary, has turned into nothing.
You said it, Ryan. West Indies yesterday bowled 22 extras versus USA's 10.
This one down the leg side, turned away by Dingra. She's going to get her 2nd run.
Moved nicely inside the line of that ball. That fielder on the boundary. Big gap there. Single on offer.
Samaru, Prasad. Oh, and Prasad, you're going to see her already initiating the shot on the onside. Still manages to get it away, gets a single.
In Samaru's first over, we didn't see a lot of turn. It looked like she was bowling more arm balls, straighter deliveries. And the first ball is over. The keeper missed, the batter missed, turned a lot. It was a similar line and length that she bowled in the first over, and on that instance the ball went straight, did not turn, and the first ball is over, turned almost to the leg side. The variation.
So 3 runs so far in this over. This one is beautifully flighted outside off stump. The protection is there. Power play. The protection for Samaru is a fine leg and a deep mid wicket on the onside. On the offside, we call about that quadrant of players in the inner circle protecting, and that is the captain, Ashwini Munisa from Guyana, directing traffic, has a fly slip in place. Samaru resets and bowls to Dingra. Shorter delivery, cut away. And guess who's there? The best fielder for the West Indies, James.
Again, looking to penetrate that offside, unable to do so. And that brings, after 4 overs, 11 runs on the board for USA.
Welcome back, Broward County Stadium. Match number 2 of a 5-match historic series between USA Women's Under-19 and West Indies Women's Under-19. Mitchell bowling her third over from the northern end. Pitched up on his outside, no appeal for caught behind. Beautiful delivery, possibly her best delivery so far of her spell.
An expansive looking drive from Chetna Prasad, missing it. Mitchell bowling extremely well her second over, only going for 2 runs. This one starting off with the dot. Chetna Prasad looking a bit impatient now.
So just 4 overs gone, 2 overs left in the power play. Oh, we can see the adjustment, goes after it in the air, and she's caught. James with the catch, she hurls the ball in the air with excitement. And the best fielder on the field takes a great catch, and the West Indies get their first wicket. It's Prasad out for 3. USA lose their first wicket for 11.
Mitchell bowling tight lines. We saw her only give 2 runs in the last over. And this one, second ball. Chetna Prasad trying to make something happen. Taking that ball away, bowling it wider this time. Reading what Prasad was doing, and a brilliant diving catch by James, getting to the ball quickly. And that brings Anika Kolan to the crease.
So the vice captain wicketkeeper has to come in. 11 for 1. 4.2 overs gone. 10 balls left in the power play. Mitchell in the mood. 2.2 overs, 1 for 6. And she's bowled a lot tighter than she did last night. Even though she had good figures last night, was a little bit all over the pitch, as you would say. So, Kolan facing Mitchell. Outside our stump, beautifully bowled, beautifully played. Third man's there. And it's none other than Samaru, who can bat, bowl, do your taxes. She can do just about everything.
Both these batters, Kolan and Dhingra, strong through the offside. Kolan likes to maneuver the ball behind square, in front of square, uses her wrists to good effect. Also strong against spin, uses her feet.
So, Kolan getting a chance. It's Dhingra. Kolan facing Mitchell. Outside off stump, just past the outside edge. So we saw last night a couple wickets fell. Bowlers were bowling tight, then they went outside off stump. Batters lost their shape, as you so quietly said, Sir Shabani. Then we saw the first wicket fall tonight. A little bit of pressure now on the batters.
Yes, pressure, and also West Indies bowling tight. And there are 100 runs on the board. Scoreboard pressure, you are chasing 5 runs and over. A good start by West Indies. Yes, they've bowled a couple of extras, but haven't given them much to hit.
Oh, again, just outside off stump. There's an appeal for caught behind.
Slip interested, keeper interested, bowler interested. Flirting with danger there outside off stump.
So far, Mitchell, 2.5. 1 delivery left for 3. 1 for 7. The strike bowler for the West Indies leading the charge. Outside off stump, lets it go, and umpire Kajar agrees with Kolan. It is a wide. Every time Mitchell just seems to be getting on top of the batter. She lets one go down the leg side or gets one to drift too far outside the off.
Trying too hard perhaps happens in many forms of cricket, but especially T20 cricket. You want to make something happen.
Lovely high action, and Gajar looks down, and that'll be the end of 5 overs. USA lose their first wicket, 13 for 1 after 5. Okay, Broward County Stadium, Samaru, the anchor of the innings, 14 not out for the West Indies. Her contribution for the even 100 they scored. She has opened the bowling, 2 overs, none for 4. So far the player of the match, but still a lot of cricket to go. Dhingra, 3 off of 16, struggling just a little bit. Takes strike. 13 for 1 after 5. Last over of the power play. Oh, and Dhingra definitely. There's an appeal for a stumping. But you can see Dhingra, huge gap between bat and pad, trying to get a little too aggressive. Shabani.
Difficult to read Samaru right now. Has been bowling arm balls, ball going straight on with the arm, some balls turning. This one beating the outside edge of the bat. The previous one between bat and pad.
And the length is perfect. It's just short of a length, so you don't have to cut, have to come forward. So it's so hard to score aggressive scoring runs, as Samaru is really starting to narrow in and hone in just outside off stump on a perfect length.
Absolutely. Not full enough to get onto the front foot and drive or get to the pitch of the ball, but not short enough.
Oh, a loose one, and she's gone after it, Dhingra. This one could be the first boundary. It is. Dhingra unleashes and relieves some of the pressure for the United States. A much needed boundary. She goes to 7. 17 for 1.
West Indies has been bowling very well. This one, full toss. Disha Dhingra getting nice and close to it. Her head close to the ball. On top of it, as we say. Making the most of that full toss, hitting it, dispatching it to the boundary.
So with my co-commentator Shabani Bhaskar, Ryan Davis, happily bringing you guys West Indies U19 versus Women's USA U19 cricket. Speaking about cricket, and we love talking women's cricket, Commonwealth Games. Let's talk Final 4. Dramatic finish. India beating England. Oh, a thick outside edge, and it's so educated. Giving chase is James, the fastest fielder on the field. Gets it back in, they come back for 2. And Dhingra all of a sudden has scored 6 off the last 2 deliveries. Commonwealth Games, cricket played at its highest level. Take us through the last 4 teams.
Well, Australia and India topped the Group A, and England and New Zealand topped Group B. So Australia and New Zealand played. Australia winning that semi-final.
Oh, bowled it.
Moving too far across. Disha Dhingra missing the ball. She'd done that on a couple of occasions, but this one missing it and taking leg stump.
Dhingra cutting loose on the other 2 deliveries, trying to get too adventurous. Came right across, and Samaru makes the breakthrough. A bit of a recovery, gave up 6 runs in the 2 deliveries before, and strikes back, bowling down. Dhingra for 9 off of 20 deliveries. USA lose their 2nd wicket with 19 on the board. 1 delivery left in the power play.
This innings started with the requirement of 5 runs and over, now at 5.79, and that wicket brings Aditi Chudasama to the crease. She's been batting well. in recent times, domestic games in the regionals and the national championship concluded recently in Texas.
Well, she was brought in for Lisa Ramjet. Despite the win yesterday, USA making the adjustments, and like you said, a valuable member of this squad, Chudasama, gets chance to face her first delivery of the series. Samaro. Outside off stump and driven. James is there. She dives. Can't get there. Chudasama off the mark. An easy two. So after the power play, USA go to 21 for 2 after 6.
A confident stroke there by Chudasama. Pitched up, but a long front foot.
The decision you make today may help shape someone else's future tomorrow. Let's talk about how we can help you put together a strategy. Life insurance is in our DNA. We've been cracking the code for 175 years. With New York Life by your side, you can focus on the things that matter most. You've got dreams and responsibilities. We're here for both. New York Life. Be good at life.
So, Mitchell bowling her 4th over on the trot. 1 wicket for 8 runs. Just outside our summer. Huge appeal for caught behind. She's out. Mitchell does the job again. The West Indies get another breakthrough. Vice Captain Kolan goes for a duck.
Anika Kolan looking to open up her shoulders. Mitchell nagging away at that line outside off stump. Saw the keeper making easy work of that one. Another wicket falls.
The strike bowler Mitchell stepping up, leading the way from over number 1, tidying up the extras, keeping the line and length, now forcing USA to be the ones to score the runs. Is that the turning point between last night and tonight?
Makes the match much tighter. Yes, we saw that West Indies bowled 22 extras yesterday, and defending just 80 runs does make a huge difference when you tighten up that line, and also the good balls that they're bowling, the legal deliveries have been difficult to hit. Only 1 full toss we've seen so far, which was dispatched by Disha Dhingra. But other than that, not a lot of scoring opportunities off the bat of the USA batters. And now Tia Gonzalez comes to the crease, replacing Anika Kolan.
So Gonzalez had a big partnership last night with the captain. She's back in the crease, and Mitchell already hitting her straps. Just outside off stump, 21 for 3. A little bit of anxiety setting in the US camp.
You see the confidence. Mitchell, the way she's running in, bustling in. That's what wickets does for a bowler.
Mitchell again. Just short of a length, a little bit shorter this time. Rocking back on the back foot is Gonzalez. No run. Just want to bring everyone up to speed. We talk about this historic tour. USA hosting the West Indies Women's U19. This will not be made possible by unless event partners stepped up and absolutely made this possible. New York Life Insurance Company, Tiger Advisory Group, and Laxmi have completely stepped up and made this possible for this historic tour. Oh, and pulled away through mid-wicket, and she's caught! A 4th wicket. Mitchell gets the breakthrough. Gonzalez trying to push the score on. Pulls the ball straight into mid-wicket, and it looks to be Wilmot who took the catch. Here's the dance and the celebration.
And why not? A great wicket there for West Indies. A good catch, but excellently bowled by Mitchell. This time on the stumps, Tia Gonzalez rocks back, tries to hit that over the mid-wicket fielder, not getting enough bat on that or elevation. And a good solid catch there at mid-wicket. USA in a spot of bother now, Ryan.
Absolutely. The all-rounder Ritu Singh making her way. had such a big impact last night with the ball, setting the stage for the USA victory when they won by 5 wickets. Now has to come in, target 101, 21 for 4, 80 runs off the mark, 4 wickets down. She joins Chudasama, who's been an addition to the squad and is facing a fiery Mitchell, who has now gotten 2 wickets in this over. Mitchell again right on off stump. Mitchell's figures 3.5, 3 for 8, just incredible, setting the tone for this West Indies team.
Also, good captaincy by Munisar for keeping Mitchell on for her 4th over, reaping rewards, 3 dot balls, 2 wickets, in effect 5 dot balls. Each wicket is a dot ball as well.
Mitchell, last ball of her spell, short outside of stump. Singh can't make contact, and what a spell by Mitchell. 4 overs, 3 wickets, 8 runs, and she's put USA in an awkward position at 21 for 4 after 7 overs. So Shabani, what sort of batter is Ritu Singh? We see how good she is with the ball. What sort of temperament does she have?
Ritu Singh is an aggressive batter. She likes to go after the bowlers. Also, it's interesting to see the way she warms up before a game when she bats.
Samaru bowling the last of her spell. And it's going to be a wide delivery called by umpire Ivy Mahabir. We saw Chudasama first delivery was a beautiful square drive to get off the mark. And now her second delivery faced is a wide. Samaru. Chudasama trying to run that ball down to third man.
So Ritu Singh, when she warms up to go into bat, she also plays softball. She does gymnastics. She plays a lot of different sports, and she uses that softball technique. She has an exaggerated hip thrust into the shot with which she's able to generate quite a bit of power. And you see when she's just facing throwdowns before a game.
Beautiful shot. Another square drive by Chudasama. She seems to be so strong in that area. James retrieves and they come back for 2. It's
a great example how different sports, you learn from different sports, bringing in techniques. If you take basketball or soccer, anticipation, interception, all useful for fielding.
Outside of stump, and umpire Mahabir says Chudasama chased it, but then finally changes her mind, and it's a wide. Second wide for Samaru. This is Samaru's 4th over. 2 wides already in this over. Is it because of the grip of the ball or lack of focus, like trying to hide the ball?
Could also be trying too hard to get another wicket, put more pressure on USA.
That's the line, that's the length, and that's James.
Sometimes when you're searching for a wicket, trying to make something happen, it can go the other way as well. It may go your way, as it did for Mitchell. She was keeping it simple, bowling to her strength. But Samaru does have plenty of variation, tossing the ball up, bowling flatter, wider, attacking the stumps.
So Samaru doing a good job fielding her own bowling. Bowling the last ball of her spell. The 2 opening bowlers would have bowled their entire 4 overs. Samaru, beautifully bowled, and nothing Chudasama could do with it. So that's the end of 8 overs, 25 for 4.
The decision you make today may help shape someone else's future tomorrow. Let's talk about how we can help you put together a strategy. Life insurance is in our DNA. We've been cracking the code for 175 years. With New York Life by your side, you can focus on the things that matter most. You've got dreams and responsibilities. We're here for both. New York Life. Be good at life.
Welcome back to Broward County Stadium, and we were rudely interrupted with our Commonwealth discussion by some cricketers on the field there, whatever reason they're playing a game. So, Shabani, going back to our Commonwealth, England brought us two fantastic things. They gave us tea, and India gave us tea. England brought us cricket and more cricket. So, Commonwealth Games just wrapped up. Give us that final four. Who won, who didn't win, and what happened?
Well, the lineup was Australia, India, New Zealand, and England.
Oh, bowling! Beautiful delivery by Calendar, the hero of the hour. A Yorker for her very first delivery.
What a way to start. A Yorker, a good delivery at any point in an innings. Ritu Singh is out. But everything she's touching is turning to gold. Ryan, Calendar came in at the fag end of the innings. 12 balls, 20 runs. Now first ball, Yorker, bowled.
Bounce back ability. That is an intangible that every sports player must have. After the USA, here's Paul coming to the wicket now to join Chudasama. Every player has to dig deep and find a way to correct their wrongs. This West Indies team being defeated by 5 wickets, and now Calendar came in, scored huge runs at the end of the innings, starts off her first delivery of a spell with a leg stump Yorker, and this West Indies team is rolling. 21 for 5. USA cannot stop the momentum. 25 for 5. USA cannot stop the momentum. And now it's going to be Paul having to face a fiery Calendar.
And with that, a slip is in place as well.
Down the leg side it goes. And this could be 4 wides. It is. Shabani, a beautiful walk, the Yorker leg stump. The left-hander comes in, and then all hell breaks loose.
Well, if you've taken a wicket like that, okay, 1 wide. I think the captain will not be complaining too much about that. But what a first delivery.
So getting back to our Commonwealth discussion. So take us through the last 4. We talked about England providing us with cricket, but they've also provided us with the Commonwealth Games.
And this is the first time women's cricket has been played at the Commonwealth Games. We actually didn't have, a no ball and a run taken as well.
So Calendar, with a dream start, is quickly turning into a bad dream. A wicket with a unplayable Yorker to Ritu Singh. Gets the wicket, and now 5 wides and 2 no balls.
And now a
Quite
free
the
hit.
overachiever, Shabani.
And a free hit now. With Chudasama on strike.
And Chudasama
looking
shown
good.
Yep, she seemed to be seeing the ball quickly out of the bowler's hands in her 7 deliveries faced. Oh, beautifully bowled by
That
Calendar.
Yorker again. She's nailing those Yorkers to the right-hander. Not quite to the left-hander.
So the free hit is a dot ball. Calendar, we're not sure what she's going to bowl. It could be a wide, a no ball, or a unplayable Yorker.
I'm backing her to bowl another Yorker now.
So only 2 deliveries gone in this over. A wicket, a dot ball, and then the extras have 7. Calendar, Chudasama outside off stump, another wide.
It was a Yorker, but wide.
On a different set of stumps.
Yes. But coming back to the Commonwealth Games, it was well contested. You had 8 teams. Women's cricket, in a global multi-sport event. It was wonderful to see the support as well. Birmingham, Australia winning.
Oh, a full delivery. Let's see what the referee decides. It's the stumps, there's no appeal.
No ball not given. Seems to have been low enough, below the waist.
So the Jekyll and Hyde calendar. A wicket, 5 wides, 2 no balls, a dot, a wide, and then a single. 9 runs in the over, only 3 deliveries gone. And we have Paul, who just faced 1 delivery, is going to face the fiery calendar. USA 34 for 5. And this one is well bowled, slanting across the left-hander.
A good time to be playing women's cricket, Ryan. We had the Commonwealth Games, 8 teams competing in that event, and only women's cricket, no men's cricket. And looking forward, January, we have the Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup. Very exciting for women's cricket.
Calendar again, slanting the ball across the left-hander, but she digs it out beautifully, and that's another boundary. Beautifully played by Paul. Yorker on the outside of off stump. Gets enough bat, opens the face of the bat, and is 4 more.
Squeezing that through point, timing. That shot was all about timing. Didn't try to overhit it, placing that to perfection. Very strong through that point. Region Snigdha Paul. Expecting that full delivery, that Yorker, which Calendar has been bowling.
So despite the wickets, 13 runs scored in this over. Target is 101. Last ball of Calendar's very long over. Beautifully bowled. Just shorten it up. And Joseph is there. And that is the end of 9 overs. 38 for 5.
The decision you make today may help shape someone else's future tomorrow. Let's talk about how we can help you put together a strategy. Life insurance is in our DNA. We've been cracking the code for 175 years. With New York Life by your side, you can focus on the things that matter most. You've got dreams and responsibilities. We're here for both. New York Life. Be good at life.
So at the end of 9, 38 for 5, it's going to be the captain herself, Ashmini Munisa, coming to bowl some spin from the commentary end, bowling to Chudasma. That's a beautifully bowled off break, just outside off stump, no turn, no run. You know, we talked about women's cricket in Commonwealth, how excited they are. No more excited than USA Cricket. First ever historic tour for an ICC full member youth side, women's cricket, West Indies women's U19 coming to the shores of the United States. So talk about Cricket West Indies, USA coming together, making this tour happen. Women's cricket is a pure excitement in this country.
Absolutely. Looking forward to, of course, the Under-19 T20 World Cup. Beautiful shot there by Chudasama. Taking a quick single. Good communication there between Chudasama and Snigdha Paul. But plenty of excitement. Women's cricket in the US growing leaps and bounds. Many players, as you said, the talent pool is getting bigger and bigger. And also a lot to look forward to if you look at the international stage. A T20 Global qualifier coming up soon for the senior team.
Both of these teams making that World Cup in South Africa in January. And not only having this tour for the experience, but to also to help trim these rosters, to help bring new players into the roster. So now with the right-hander, left-hander combination, any adjustments you see on the field?
We do have a sweeper cover.
And Munisa immediately goes outside to the off stump, knowing that she has that sweeper cover. Paul can't capitalize, no run.
Also with that slip in place. But coming back to the Youth World Cup for women, first time ever that's happening. 16 teams competing.
Oh, clipped off the pads, appeal for LBW. So no bat, according to Munisa, but maybe have pitched outside the line of leg stump.
Possibly angling down the leg side, but quite close. Snigdha Paul moving a long way across her stumps.
Oh, appeal for caught behind. Not out, says the umpire. And that will be the end of the 10th over. Here's the replay, Shabani.
The LBW appeal just sliding down the leg side. Good decision there by umpire Ivy Mahabir.
So the end of 10 overs, 39 for 5, 62 needed off of 60, 5 wickets down. And Janaba Joseph, the all-rounder, we've seen what she can do both yesterday and today with the bat. She's going to come in to provide some medium pace from the northern end. You can see the body language of the captain, Ashwini Munisa. Urgent, spurring her team on every second, hurrying through her over, really being a source of positivity and leadership. Joseph Chudasama drives, no run. So 62 off 60. Shabani, any adjustments or just sort of play what you see?
Well, now you need more runs than the number of balls remaining. Great work here by West Indies to bring that equation.
Oh, beautifully driven down the ground, the straight drive. And fielded in the end by Grimond. But not before they get a single. Lovely straight drive by Chudasama.
That was a good ball, good shot, and extremely well fielded. Good cricket all round by both sides.
I love it.
This is looking good. This contest coming down to the wire. Snigdha Paul, Chudasama facing 7 and 14 balls, stitching up a partnership here.
Joseph is a full toss, driven, oh, and got a hand to it, but will it still get to the boundary? It does. Well, the full toss, given the treatment, mid-off couldn't handle it, but it's 4 more to Paul, 4 more to the total, 44 for 5.
An aggressive stroke by Snigdha Paul, taking on the bowler and that fielder at mid-off. Wide of her, enough bat on that. Nice shot, full toss, taking full toll. Although she got a hand on it, it wasn't enough. Hit plenty strong to take it to the boundary.
Paul again. It's a full toss by Joseph. Protection is there by Grimond.
Good idea by captain and bowler to push that fielder back. Snigdha Paul strong in that area.
So the order of the day is to pitch the ball up. As a result, Joseph has bowled a couple of full tosses, 6 runs given away so far in her first 4 deliveries. Chudasama, who's been in form so far. There's a third man, a long off, and this time Joseph finds her straps.
It's the 11th over, and you see that ball swinging, Ryan, swinging into the right-hander. That seam position looking very good. Janaba Joseph bowling tight lines to this right-hander.
This one short of a length, and I think the length adjusting may have thrown Chudasama off a little bit, just a little bit.
At the end of 11 overs, USA are 45 for the loss of 5 wickets.
The decision you make today may help shape someone else's future tomorrow. Let's talk about how we can help you put together a strategy. Life insurance is in our DNA. We've been cracking the code for 175 years. With New York Life by your side, you can focus on the things that matter most. You've got dreams and responsibilities. We're here for both. New York Life. Be good at life.
Welcome back to Broward County Stadium. A much needed partnership right now between Paul and Chudasama. Bit of a recovery. They came in at 25 for 5. Now it's 45 for 5. Paul 10, Chudasama 7. Facing the captain herself. Munisa outside off stump. Lets it go. And umpire Mahabia decides against the wide.
Just inside that wide line. Keeping it tight here, West Indies.
And this time, Munisa finds that wide line.
You can see Munis are different from the other off spinners, really trying to use her wrist.
So Paul, 10 off of 10, has been aggressive. This one's tossed up beautifully. Beats point, and they're going to get one. They're going to think for two. But well fielded in the end. Looks to be Grimond. It is.
Well done there to go from cover quickly. That ball passed point to her right. And Grimond making the ground quickly to get that and keep it to 1. The fielding has been excellent from both these teams, Ryan.
So Munisar coming over the wicket to the right hand, and it's swept away. Deep backward, short backward squares there. Throws to the bowler's end. They get 1. No second. Bit of nervousness right now with the West Indies team. They had the USA at 25 for 5. 23-run partnership now. 48 for 5. USA won the first match of a 5-match series by 5 wickets last night. This is game number 2. West Indies desperate to try to even the series. The captain, Munisar. And cut away by Paul. Fielded in the end by James.
Dot balls. Dot balls. That is what they did so well at the beginning of the innings. They bowled so many dot balls, which pushed the run rate up. Now, of course, above 6 runs and over.
Again, this one coming into the left-hander. It's going to be a run out. Hits his stumps as an appeal. Not out, says the umpire.
Paul makes it back in time. But those dot balls resulted in these 5 wickets that USA have lost. Keep it simple. That's what Mitchell did from one end for her 4 overs.
Munisa and bowls another wide. Seems to be losing that grip. So she's given up 2 singles, but with the 2 wides, has made it a 4-run over. Finds the line and the length. It's a straight pass point. In comes cover with Grimond.
Taking the single on offer since sweeper cover was out. At the end of 12 overs, USA are 50 for 5.
What a contest. We reached the halfway mark when it comes to runs. 101 to win. 8 overs remaining. However, 5 wickets lost. Does that alter things?
It does play on a batter's mind. The batting side will be thinking about, okay, we've already lost 5 wickets and we're chasing more than 6 runs and over. The good thing for USA is they still have Isani Vaghela, they have the captain Gitika Kodali, they have batting to come.
Well, you said it, Gitika Kodali came in and knocked off the winning runs.
Right.
So she'll be ready to get in at any moment. But Zaidash James comes in to bowl her left arm orthodox to the left-handed Paul, and right away pitches on middle stump. James has protection at long on for the left-hander. Now bowling to the right-handed Chudasama, coming around the wicket to the right-hander, over the wicket to the left-hander.
Apologies, Isani Vagela not playing today, but they still have Geetika Kodali, captain, yet to bat. And we saw what she can do, the intent she brings, the strokes she has. Looks like an exciting finish, Ryan.
Oh, beautifully struck through the covers. What a shot. Great stop though at the end. As you would say, Shabani, just good cricket. It's going to be a run out. Is it appeal? Given out. Tragedy for the USA. Beautiful cover drive, well fielded. Took this thing off the ball, and then the runners went for an untimely second run. And now the 6 wicket falls. 51 for 6.
USA's biggest partnership this innings comes to an end with that run out. Looking to go for that second run.
Beautiful shot by Chudasama. A cover drive for the ages. Beautiful stop at cover. And look at the throw at the bowler's end. And guess who? James, always at the end of it. Bat in the air, no chance. And Paul run out after an excellent innings for 13 off of 15, leading the charge. And guess who comes in? Captain Fantastic herself, Geetika Kodali. Again, has some repairing to do. 6 wickets down. Just when USA were tilting the scales, the West Indies come up with a timely out.
Just as you said, partnership was building.
Shorter delivery by James. There's a drop catch.
Great effort there at extra cover. Captain Munisar.
She attacked it, Shabani. Didn't hesitate, threw herself behind it. We talked about her energy, her influence on this team. So game still hanging in the balance, 52 for 6. Chudasama, James, pulled away. Oh, and stopped.
Well watched there. Awkward bounce can be dangerous, but she watched it ensured to making sure she got her hands to that one, stopping that ball from going past her.
Looks like it was Samara Ramnath at mid-on. James, outside off stump, driven away. No run is an appeal. Umpire says not out.
Appealing for all of them now. But that's the energy, the energy wickets bring.
Here's the replay again. James, short of a length. There's that back foot shot, and you could see Munisa diving behind it. Oh, and this one goes past the leg stump, and it's going to be a wide. An attempted run out. It is an appeal. Kodali's home safely. Wide called. 2 runs to the total.
Kodali taking a good start and taking off as soon as she saw the fielder not collect the ball, making it home safe. Good work there to try to recover by the keeper. Saw getting a direct hit.
If you don't have an ad, I would like.
Kodali facing her first delivery of this innings.
So the left-handed James to the right-handed Kodali. Beautifully bowled, and Kodali, defensive shot, but still gets a run. So at the end of 13, it is 55 for 6. A quick look at the scorecard. So Chitna Prasad caught James, a fantastic catch at point, out for 11 by the bowling of Mitchell. Started to put the pressure on the United States. Then Samaru came on, immediately found her straps and got the openers out. Now, Captain Kodali in the wicket with Paul, trying to repair the damage. 55 for 6.
Chudasama and Kodali.
Munisa, a flighted delivery outside off stump. You know, no matter the pace, the full length delivery outside off stump, the timing has to be exceptional to score off of it.
Absolutely, especially when there's a cordon on the offside. It's difficult to penetrate.
Kodali gets all of this, beats the field, sliding stop, brilliant stop by Grimmond, and a great throw as an appeal is out. Grimmond with a bit of magic at deep mid wicket, and there's another run out.
What a brilliant piece of fielding. Getting quickly to the ball, sliding stop. Didn't take much time at all to throw the ball into the bowler's end, and that throw came in very quickly on the bounce and close to the stump as well, making it easy.
You know, we talk about runouts, we talk about wickets to bowlers. This was a wicket for Grimmond. Full delivery, pulled away through mid-wicket. Grimmond was only trying to stop the boundary. Look at the slide. One hand and then right over the bails for Munisa, completely stranding the batter to get a wicket.
Great piece of fielding and well done. Completing that run out as well, Munisar. And Chudasama goes for 9 off 21.
Well, they say catches win matches. What about feeling like that? And then a beautiful delivery by Munisar. Gives up the single, but she'll take it.
Quick single taken there by Geetika Kodali. We've seen that already since she's come in 2 like that.
So at the bottom of your screen, 44 from 39, but the all-important figure, 7 wickets down. USA licking their wounds. The opening bowler Tadani partnering her captain Kodali. Tadani's forward, and now we're into the tail end, Shabani.
Yes, Tadani bowled brilliantly today, bowling out her 4 overs, not giving many runs at all. Now asked to take her team home with the bat. She does have her captain Geetika on the other side. If these two can hang around.
Munisar, beautiful delivery, thick outside edge, and the best shot in the book earns her 4 runs. Beautiful delivery by the captain, and an educated edge gets the boundary.
A healthy edge, yes, as you said, Ryan. No fielder there. Difficult to protect 360 degrees. They have their fielders in front of square, their boundary riders.
Can't fault the bowler.
It was a brilliant ball, but USA will take those 4 runs.
So with that boundary, score moves to 61. Last ball of the 14th, and it's a wide. So what was a wicket from a fantastic run out by Grimmond, and if that replay, we'll ask for the replay again as will come up. We have a fantastic broadcast team here. They're on it already. And Munisar, this one drives to mid off, sorry, to cover, no run. So the end of 14, 62 for 7. USA up against it. Here's that replay. Shabani, take us through it.
Full toss, good shot by Geetika Kodali. A few things here. Grimmond was inside the boundary line. She wasn't on the line, but picked up that ball cleanly while sliding, getting up quickly. That throw came in like a bullet on the bounce. Munisar completing a brilliant fielding effort.
I'm sure sponsors New York Life Insurance, Tiger Advisory Group, and Laxmi Foods would have loved that play by Grimmond, making this tour possible. Here's James bowling to Kodali, beautifully flighted delivery, tantalizing, and the captain knew nothing about it.
Just going on with the arm. Not much turn on offer on this occasion, but we have seen plenty of turn on this wicket.
So, dot ball from an excellent delivery by James to begin the 14th. Shorter. Kodali tries to cut away. seen Kodali score so many runs from last night and tonight, pulling deliveries through mid-wicket, punching the ball, but the shorter deliveries, having a hard time to score square of the wicket. James, and she goes square of the wicket again. Dabs it, gets one.
Sent back. Looking for that single, but sent back by Suhani Tadani. You do want Geetika to face more number of deliveries in this partnership. Better chance of getting boundaries or twos.
Maybe a hesitation by Tadani as a result?
Absolutely. And also that ball went straight to the fielder. Didn't want to take a chance.
James again, the drift coming into the right-hander. A chance for a run out, misses the stumps.
Just one more away from the fielder. More time for the batters to get that single.
So with the analyst Shabani Bhaskar, my name is Ryan Davis. We are in another tight match between West Indies U19 and the host USA Women's Under-19 in this historic 5-match series. Game number 2 after USA winning game number 1. Cut away but missed. There's an appeal by James. Not out by umpire Gagar.
Appeal to both umpires, one for caught behind and for the stumping to the square leg umpire. With this over from Zeta James, the required rate has been pushed above 7 runs and over, making it difficult for USA.
Well, we've seen Captain Fantastic do something special last night, Kodali. Can she do it again? James, beautiful delivery. Maybe I've gotten the bottom of the bat, and that's the end of 15 overs. 63 for 7.
Geetika Kodali and Suhani Tadani now trying to stitch up a partnership. Snigdha Paul, that brilliant run out. And Aditi Chudasama as well, run out. It's been a couple of wickets, untimely wickets as well, just as partnerships were building, Ryan.
We just seen Paul, the only batter in double figures, problematic for the US, and a change of bowling from the commentary end. It's going to be number 30, Samara Ramnath, getting a chance to bowl. And she's going to have some protection against Geetika Kodali. She has a long on, deep mid-wicket, a long off, and a deep cover. 4 players out on the boundary. Getting to the business end of the innings. Runs need to be scored in a hurry. And a flat delivery pulled away by Kodali. Mid-wicket comes across and it's a much-needed boundary. Well, we saw the captain lead the charge yesterday for a dramatic victory. Can she do it again? And she responds with her boundary, Shabani.
Again, square leg inside the circle, deep mid-wicket, not able to cut that off. Straying on the pads, Geetika Kodali very strong there, flicking it strongly through that square leg region. Getting a boundary off the first ball.
And that was Grimond. Ramnath, this time on off stump and a thick outside edge. The fly slip is there as the captain. So 5 off of 2. Kodali off of strike. The nervous Tehani to face.
Can Tadani take a single? And she does. Nicely played there to short third. Munisar coming across, coming around. But an easy single, and that brings Geetika Kodali back on strike. Good over so far for USA here.
Also believe that will be 7 so far in the over. Turned away by Kodali again. Deep mid wicket is there. Sorry, deep square leg.
That's a good change by Captain Munisar to put that square leg fielder on the boundary, especially because Ramnath is bowling on the stumps. turning the ball into the right-hander. So have that protection out. 3 fielders on the boundary, on the leg side, deep square leg, deep mid-wicket, and long on.
Ramnath again, like you said, goes across the line of the ball, but Grimmond is there, tries to pick up one hand again. The batters refuse to go for a second on her arm.
She's throwing bullets from there.
Well,
That ball came in so quickly.
She has left her impression on this US team. Scouting report immediately says, do not test Grimmond's arm. Ramnath. Kodali goes after it, down the ground, one bounce to mid-off. But they get the important single, and it gets Kodali to face the next ball of the other over. 16 gone, 72 for 7. James, the left-hander, right-handed captain Kodali. Short, punched away to long off. They get one, there's a misfield.
Not enough to come back for the second on that occasion. And these West Indies fielders have bullet throws. The ball comes in so quickly once they pick it up.
So, Tadani, 6 off of 7. Tries to just dab it to point or cover. Anything will do to get Kodali back on strike.
Trying to either drop the ball or maneuver it to take that quick single, unable to do that.
Oh, and pulled away. Deep mid-wicket is not going to get there, and a much needed boundary for the US. Tadani pulls it for 4. 77 for 7.
Great shot by Suhani Tadani there, moving inside the line of the ball, taking on that mid-wicket fielder. That fielder you can see was inside, was not on the boundary, which allowed Tadani.
Beautiful. She turned on that short delivery in a flash. This one short outside off stump, and umpire Gagar calls a wide. And here comes the United States into this match. They had a huge repair job to do. Captain Kodali coming into the wicket and doing her best. This one driven away to backward point. It's Joseph. Gets a hand to it, and they're going to come back for 2. Oh, maybe an overthrow. No, they get the 2. Score hurries on. 79 for 7.
All eyes were on Geetika Kodali to take USA home. But Suhani Tadani getting into the act. Hitting some beautiful shots here, putting pressure on the West Indies fielders. Running those 2s hard.
Check that, 80 for 7. 21 for victory. Good delivery, and not much Tadani could do with it. And a much needed dot ball for the West Indies. Tadani looking at the field. There's protection, a deep cover, a long off, a long on, and deep mid-wicket. Ooh, an appeal for caught behind, and it's given. James gets the breakthrough. Tadani has to go. And a valuable wicket for the West Indies. USA 80 for 8.
Tadani walked. And that's brilliant to see. What a time to get a wicket for the West Indies. A great partnership for the US. looking good, both of them. But Tadani has to walk back. James expensive in this over.
Well, you talk about the trait of walking. Some of the greatest that ever played the game were walkers. And Tadani, good on her, just turned and walked away. So James gets the valuable breakthrough. 21 deliveries remaining. 21 runs to score. 18 deliveries remaining. 21 to score for the victory for the USA. Only 2 wickets in hand. Captain Kodali, 12 off of 13, is going to have to shadow Badriaju and try to take as much strike as she could to try to lead her team again for the second consecutive match to victory.
Although that was an expensive over from Zayda James, she got an important breakthrough. West Indies can put pressure on USA now.
So Ramnath, who gave up 9 on her first over, trusted to bowl the 18th. Protection on the onside. Long on, deep mid wicket, deep backward square. Then there's deep cover coming in a couple of steps. Not so much on the boundary. Long off comes in. So there's just a regular mid-off, an extra cover, a point, and a deep cover on the offside. The fly slip in place. Ramnath, Kodali, and pulled away. But there is protection. They think of 2. But guess who it is? Looks to be Grimmond, maybe? Not sure, but a good arm nonetheless.
We saw that they pulled a sweeper cover fielder in a few yards from the boundary. We've seen on multiple occasions, just in the second innings today, that deep mid-wicket fielder was inside and that ball passed the fielder. The outfield is quick, and when you need more than a run a ball.
Ramnath pitches it up outside off stump. They dab it to point, and James is there. Takes a shot at the stumps, and there's going to be overthrows. Kodali immediately comes back. Badriaju was not on the same page, but the overthrow was so exaggerated, it was easy for Kodali.
A direct hit on that first throw, and that could have been close. But the overthrow allows USA to get that extra run. But that does keep Kodali off strike.
So Badriaju gets 2 off of the overthrow. 18 from 16. Oh, well bowled by Ramnath. Best delivery she's bowled so far.
Nail biting here. Very close between the West Indies and the US.
Again, a beautiful delivery. This one punched past point. That sort of 3/4 cover comes in. It's the opening bowler Mitchell who set the tone for this West Indies performance.
Picking up 3 crucial wickets right at the top, putting USA on the back foot from the get-go.
So drama in Broward County Stadium, match number 2. 17 runs needed off 14 deliveries. Kodali, what can she do? Ramnath, she goes after it, opens up the shoulders. Long on is there for protection. It's Wilmot.
Geetika Kodali trying to throw the bowler off, moving before the ball was bowled, going back to her stance. When you do that though, your head needs to be in a good position. When you're hitting the ball, head needs to be steady to get a solid shot in.
Ramnath. Badriaju. Beautifully flighted delivery, and Badriaju just wants to get Kodali back on strike. And that will be the end of 18 overs. 85 for 8. 16 more needed off of the last 12 deliveries. Shabani, any change in mindset for Kodali? Do you just go for the boundaries or just play every ball on its merit?
This is the over, the 19th over, the penultimate over of an innings, especially when you're chasing, has to be your big over. You don't want to leave too much for the 20th over. You never know what may happen. So for USA, for Geetika Kodali and Badri Raju, the two batters at the crease, the thinking needs to be, this is the over. This is the big over that we need. So go after it.
Well, the penultimate over, brought to you by our analyst Shabani Basker. I am Ryan Davis. We are proud to be with you in this historic event. First time a full member ICC youth team tours the United States. USA Women's Under-19 hosting West Indies Women's Under-19 5-match series. USA winning the first match by 5 wickets last night. Game number 2 tonight. And it is a nail-biter. 12 deliveries, 16 runs. James, Kodali, good bounce, good delivery. They squeeze out a single. Looks like Kodali is going to take everyone on her merit. There's a bit of trust in her number 10 batter in Badri Raju.
Technically strong, Badri Raju. Can bat. But we'll be looking to get Geetika Kodali back on strike.
James. Oh, what a delivery. It spun a mile as an appeal for a stumping. Not out, but it just showed what James can do every so often.
What a brilliant ball. We've seen her bringing the ball into the right-hander, going on straight with the arm. This one turning a lot.
James again, outside off stump, and Badri Raju trying to run it. And all of a sudden, Kodali maybe second-guessing that single. Trying to coach Badri Raju from the non-striker's end.
Get bat on it. We'll take a single.
And not so much as Munisa. And they're going to get the overthrow. Captain Munisa looking for the run out. Gets the single. So, 4 deliveries in, 2 runs scored so far in this over.
Kodali was not running. Yes, Bhumika Badri Raju may have been out of her crease, but even if the run out had happened, Geetika Kodali would have been off of strike.
2 deliveries remaining. Kodali goes after it, lifts it past, and it's going to go all the way to the boundary. It is! Captain Fantastic is trying to bring home another victory for the US. A much needed boundary for the home team.
Zaida James, being a left-arm spinner, opted for long off versus long on, and she took the chance over the mid-on fielder. Great shot, great thinking, placement, planning. Now mid-off comes in, long on, goes back.
10 runs needed for victory, 7 deliveries remaining. USA would love a boundary. West Indies will despise it.
The difficult question here is, does Geetika take a single to face the next over, or go for a boundary and bring the required number of runs down?
So, protection in the V, long off, long on. They bring in the cover to stop the single there. There is a deep mid-wicket. James, shortest delivery, and long off is there. And there's going to be one. And like you said, Shabani, Geetika satisfied with the single after 19 overs. 6 deliveries remaining. 9 runs needed for victory. And Geetika Kodali, 20 runs off 18 deliveries, just like last night, can bring home yet another victory.
We saw that Snigdha Paul was the first to get into double figures, and now Geetika Kodali on 20 off just 18 deliveries. And she will also be facing the first ball of the 20th over. But we've lost our lights.
Looks like somebody tripped over the switch. Just like that, the lights have gone out. And now they've just come back on. Everyone is stunned on the field. And if there wasn't enough drama in this game already, with 9 runs needed for victory off of 7 deliveries, the lights have just went out in the stadium and come right back on.
The pressure. The lights couldn't handle the pressure of this game.
Even the groundsman is under pressure.
9-6 ball remaining. We got a close game.
So, Gitika Kodali getting the single of the last delivery will take strike.
Captain Munisar taking up the responsibility of bowling the final over with 9 runs required for US to win. 8 runs, and it's a tie.
Do they go to wickets at 8 runs? If the scores are tied. We will get the answer for that shortly. However, protection from Munisar, long on, deep mid wicket, and a regular backward square, just 2 on the side, on the boundary, on the onside, on the offside, a long off, and a deep cover. Captain to captain. Kodali gets it on the full. Long on is there. It bites up. She's gonna come back for 2. Kodali regains strike. The pressure mounting on the fielders. It was Wilmot who misfielded and allowed the captain, Kodali, to scamper back for a second. It is now 8 runs needed from 5. Oh, and beautiful sportsmanship by Munisar. Could have run out Badriaju and decided against it. A fist bump by Badriaju to say thanks. Munisar to Kodali. Short, pulled away, beats mid wicket. They think about 2, won't get it, and they get the single.
An important thing to remember in women's cricket, you are only allowed 4 fielders outside the circle, whereas in men's cricket you're allowed 5. Makes a big difference. A tough decision when you're only allowed 4. Which 4 do you put out? We've seen that Kodali has hit a few boundaries through the square leg region.
So the adjustment is made, and you can see the replay by Munisar, the sportsmanship, and hence the reason she's the captain of this West Indies team. Munisar to Badriaju. A long on and a deep mid wicket. That's it. Badriaju beautifully bowled, and they scamper and they get the single. Fantastic running between the wickets. Kodali gets there. So 5 runs needed, 3 deliveries remaining.
Coming down to the wire here, how costly was that misfield off the first ball, allowing Gitika Kodali to come back to face the second ball. We have a deep mid wicket, long on, long off, and a sweeper.
And goes after it. Oh, a drop catch. A chance for Manisa. But she stops it. 1 run scored. She threw her body behind it, got her left hand to it. Just courageous effort by the captain of the West Indies team.
One-handed diving effort. Wow, wow, wow. That has been the fielding standard of these games. The commitment, the effort.
So, a little bit of pressure off of the West Indies. A lot of pressure on Badriaju. Number 10 batter. 2 deliveries. 4 runs needed to win. Badriaju has a dot ball appeal for a stumping. Umpire says not out.
The keeper had the ball in hand, appealing to the umpire at square leg, racing towards the umpire. Badri Raju had a thought of maybe taking a single. Unfortunately, that was not the case. So now it comes down to the last ball.
So one delivery remaining, a boundary needed to win. 3 will tie. Badriaju, 5 runs off of 9 deliveries. The number 10 batter, Captain Fantastic on the other end, helpless at this moment. Monisar, the last delivery, beautifully bowled, driven on the offside. It's fielded. And victory for the West Indies. And they run, and looks like that's going to be it. The West Indies have won the match and even this series at 1. The USA won by 5 wickets. The West Indies win by 2 runs in a dramatic game number 2 in this 5-match series. What a match, Shabani, from start to finish.
Absolutely. West Indies fielders started celebrating, but the USA batters kept running. This happened in a WBBL match a year or two ago, a few years ago. They kept running until the stumps were broken. The ball was not deemed dead. And the other team, the batting team, ended up winning that game because of that. But they got the ball back in time to ensure USA did not get any more runs. But what a game. Exciting finish. Nail-biting. Winning by 1 run. What a game.
Well, it's the sort of standard of cricket, the sort of performance that we've come to expect from women's cricket, and the USA and the West Indies have put on a show over the last 2 days in this historic tour in the opening 2 matches. So the series is tied at 1, and it will continue on Thursday morning at 10:30 right here at Broward County Stadium at 10:30 start. The 4th match will be on Friday at 10:30 and the 5th on Sunday, as we look at the summary as the West Indies win dramatically by just 1 run. Samaru, the anchor of the innings for the West Indies, started the performance for the visitors, 40 off of 55. Heroic batting by Calendar, coming in scoring 20 off of 12, getting them to 100, and then the USA, a slow start, but guess who came in?
Geetika Kodali, top scoring for the US, 24 off 21, not out. But running out of partners, the top order not contributing enough, but that was mainly due to brilliant bowling by the West Indies. Opening bowlers Mitchell and Samaru picking up 4 wickets together, and then Calendar, a brilliant Yorker to start off with, but tight bowling by West Indies to win this match by 1 run.
Well, the brilliance by these cricketers and the brilliance by Shabani Bhaskar, breaking it down. For myself, Ryan Davis, we are so proud to bring this historic event to you. The West Indies winning by 1 run. We will have the player of the match and the awards to be given out shortly. Stay tuned. Don't leave us just yet. We are tied at 1 after 2 in this historic 5-match series. See you soon with the awards in only a few minutes. We'll be right back. Stadium for the historic 5-match series between USA Women's Under-19 and West Indies Women Under-19. The USA won the first match yesterday by 5 wickets, and tonight the West Indies evened the series by winning by just 1 run. So we're going to start by talking to the losing captain, Geetika Kodali. So like I've mentioned on the broadcast a couple of times, I've called you Captain Fantastic. Yesterday you brought home the winning runs. Tonight, wasn't able to bring it back home. What was it like on the bowling side at the beginning and then the batting?
I think it was a great effort on both teams' parts for both bowling and batting. The game coming down to a wire is a great sign that our cricket's improving day by day. But bowling-wise, I think we started off really well. The last 10 overs, we kind of loosened up a little, which I think is something we would like to change. But batting-wise, I really like the intent our batters had, and I like the communication between the wickets, and I think it's 2 things we really improved on from yesterday.
So an incredible standard of cricket played by both teams. The series tied at 1. Match starts again on Thursday. Any changes in the dressing room, any talks, any strategy, or is it business as usual?
Definitely business as usual. We like to reflect as much as possible after each game. So definitely taking this rest day tomorrow to recollect as a team, find out what we can work on, and come back stronger.
Thank you, Geetika. So, USA on the losing side tonight, but tonight we're going to talk with the winners with the captain, Ashwini Munisar. Ashwini, change of fortune, change of result, big win tonight. What was the change with the mindset of this West Indies team tonight?
Well, the mindset we went in with to the game was that we'd have to improve in every area, and I thought we did that well. We batted. At the toss, I said that it's that we would like to get at least 100, and we did that. And I think the ball is executed well, and the feeling was excellent. So it was basically an outstanding all-round performance.
So match regains or restarts again on Thursday morning. Any changes? Or like I asked Geetika, business as usual Thursday, Friday, or any changes or any adjustments?
Definitely business, because with the series tied, it can only go forward with whoever plays better cricket wins the series. And I think that both teams will want to play better cricket, but at the end of the day, we'll work harder.
Thank you, Ashwini. So the captain of the women's U19 team for the West Indies. This series tied at 1. So now SMK Global Player of the Match will be presented by Miss Anne Brown John. She's the Chief West Indies Selector of the West Indies team. Miss Brown. And drum roll for the Player of the Match. It was very, very tight. Incredible performance on both sides. KD Jazz Mitchell, 4 overs, 3 wickets, 8 runs, set the total for the West Indies. And hang on, we're not done yet. An honourable mention by Miss Shaini Samaru. Forte not out. Yes, we haven't forgotten. We did not forget about that. But your bowling performance has won the man of the match. And Miss Brown, please, the presentation. Katie, you have a second? So, tale of 2 different nights. Yesterday, you opened the bowling. Both opening bowlers, but the bowlers had a hard time with the grip of the ball. A lot of extras tonight. Hitting your mark from ball 1. Any change, any adjustment?
Yeah, there was one adjustment actually. I was having some issues controlling the ball while seaming it, and I had a talk with my captain, Ashwini Munisar, and she advised me to cross seam it, and I started to get a lot more control. So thanks to her on that as well. So.
Fantastic. So going forward, a little bit of momentum, some confidence. How does that affect your game going into Thursday and Friday's matchup?
It doesn't affect me in any way. It actually boosts my confidence and prompted me to play a better game within myself.
Thank you, Katie. Player of the match, KD Jazz Mitchell. This series tied at 1. Now, going forward, 3 matches remaining. Thursday at 10:30 a.m. start. Friday, game number 4, 10:30 a.m. And then it wraps up this historic tour Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. Join us.